All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Mothership tonight. We are continuing our Gradient Descent campaign. They're all practicing the voices of characters that they forgot because we played 2 weeks ago and no one remembers their voice. And I told them that they shouldn't worry about it because their characters are probably going to die pretty quickly. And so, don't get too attached. I think everyone's in the right place, so I think we're good to go. Folks in the chat early, thank you for joining us. Who do I see? Oh my gosh. There's people. Oh, I'm already got to stay hydrated, Veronica.
Already,
okay.
yeah.
I'm already got to stay hydrated. All right. So that reference, that goes back to I think it was a Vaesen game we played over on Garblag. We're like, we just stay at high. It's stupid reference, but go watch that Vaesen game. It's fun. Let's see. I'll do the summary after intros. So why don't we just do character intros and stuff, and then I'll go over everything that happened last time, and then we get started. So we're gonna go by the overlay, which means Melissa, you are up first. Tell us about Liko Win.
So she is a teamster. Her skills, she's got some piloting, industrial equipment, 0G, and jury rigging. She has a big old parka, and she likes mountain climbing when she's somewhere that can happen.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you like mountain climbing? And you don't have snowshoes? That was a different game.
That's correct. I am sans snowshoes.
Okay. And you're a teamster, right? That's your. Okay. All right. Next up, we've got Long. Tell us about Helix.
Yeah, I'm playing Helix, our walking calculator, also known as an android. Pretty much specialize in mathematics and hacking, computer stuff.
Oh, do you now? Okay.
What he wears is just a regular jumpsuit, but he's got a patch on him. It's the all-seeing eye right across the back. Spelt out. It's not like a symbol or anything.
Okay, right on. Does it mean anything? Does it have any like inner meaning for Helix?
Yeah, it does have a meaning. Let me see what I wrote. I forget. Yeah, it's a protective charm against an evil eye. Or against the evil eye.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those patches.
Yeah, you get random patches. They can mean something if you want them to. They don't have to mean anything. It's whatever you want. Okay, right on. Bottom row, we've got our doctor. Tell us about Dr. Leo Menton, Derek.
Yeah, Dr. Menton was a medical doctor, no longer practicing because of the incident he had with the space mob. Currently homeless and enjoys stealing socks, one of his favorite pastimes. He too has a patch. It's on his little first aid box or his little first aid duffel bag he brings around with him. And ironically, his patch says "Work hard, party harder," and so he's on the party harder stage of his life right now.
Yeah, and tell us about what you wear, because didn't you have something special that you wear, don't you?
I do, yeah. I got the dice blessed me with some overalls that I wear. They're custom made. They're my scrubs from when I was in the hospital where I worked, and they've got the cute little Sesame Street characters, and so I just took those scrubs, cut them into overalls, and they're years old at this point. They're washed, sure, because he does enjoy hygiene still, but living out on those streets, just they're hauntingly dingy and dilapidated and all of those great things.
Nice. I've been playing with Midjourney AI, which is like AI generated art, and I'm not sure if you saw in the chat I put up earlier this week, but I was messing around with that, and I actually got a pair of them. So we had like coveralls with Sesame Street pastures. It's so good. It looks ridiculously demented. I love it. Okay, next up, we've got the Tank Top Marine. Steven, tell us about Corporal Reed.
Yeah, Corporal Reed used to be Sergeant Reed before the dishonorable discharge. They took pretty much everything from him as he left, so he still wears a tank top camo pants. He also has a patch. We're the patch crew here. It is of a succubus pinup, and it doesn't have any meaning. He just thought it was hot. Yeah, that's about Corporal Reed for you. He
Fair
has
enough.
a crowbar and a scalpel that he probably stole from Dr. Menton as a backup weapon.
Yeah. Are you the one with the ghost rock, or not? Or not the ghost rock. The rocks. The rock pets. Who's got the rock pets?
Me?
Okay, I knew there were rock pets somewhere. I thought it was Reed for some reason. Okay.
No.
All right. Yes, the only trained military combat person here and doesn't have any real weapons, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I go tank top. How bad can it be?
It'll be fine. It's a diplomacy crawl. That's all this really is. It's gonna be great. And then finally, we've got our other teamster. We've got Abby Morton. Ashley, tell us about Abby.
So I was reading over my notes for Abby, and she's weirder than she started out on paper. So last session I established that she collects rocks and she paints them as like little pet rocks, like little faces and sigils and stuff, and then she hides them around places. But in her trinket, she has a prospecting mug that she's terrified that if she loses it, horrible things will happen to her. And as long as she has it, she's fine. And I do have my own patch. It's a red shirt because I'm a nurse. And I used to work in some sort of factory. And so they gave me a shirt with a red shirt on it, so that they could easily find me because I'm the nurse. So,
How very meta.
yeah,
Ashley, do you know what the red shirt means, though?
absolutely not. If there's meaning.
Does anybody here want to enlighten Ashley on what it means to be a red shirt in a space sci-fi
In
game?
an away party.
So is this
Oh,
like
no.
a
It
Star
means you're
Trek
fucked.
reference?
Is this a
Yeah.
thing? Do I need to Google?
It's,
red shirts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ashley,
Yeah.
you're so young.
I've
Jeff, why don't you tell me about it? Like, what's it
Because
mean?
I'm actually trying to do something right now, so I'm stalling. Somebody else explain it while I'm trying to do something else.
In the original Star Trek, red shirts were the security team. Like that was their uniform that they would wear.
Okay.
And Kirk would always go down with a red shirt or two as backup, and they were always unnamed crew members, and they would
'cause
usually
I'm gonna
not
die.
return on the mission. Yes.
Okay, cool. Got it.
But you got a name, so you're already a step up over a red shirt.
This is true. This is.
You just
very
gave
true.
me a white shirt with a red shirt on it, so I'm not fully a red shirt.
So basically, what I was saying before about don't stress too much about getting your accent right. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Yeah. So red shirt's
Yeah.
usually the one who's going to die. Yeah.
I
So,
won't even name my next character.
Nice.
Just
nice.
make
I
it-
think that's
You know,
smart.
So we
That's
won't
smart.
get
This is just
attached.
giving me time to practice. Like, what should I do today? Like, I was British, Southern.
Is
Go
there
for the
that
Jewish
actually is a-
accent.
Is there like a person on the crew that's like in charge? Is there like when push comes to shove, is like there's somebody amongst the five of you who actually has to make the call? I know Melissa.
Oh, it's
hates
definitely
this
Reed,
question.
right?
Helix.
You're letting the android do it.
It's an android.
All right. All right. Let's. So I'm good to go. I just realized I forgot to sort of drop stuff in Discord. My bad. All right. So let's dive in. So you are all the crew. I'm not sure if you remember the name of your ship, of the Doppler effect. That was what was crowdsourced and sort of narrowed down to, which is some sort of grungy space crawler that is probably best used for like small cargo or passenger runs, things like that, transport, etc. Most of you are either in some kind of debt or you've been expelled from whatever career or job you might have previously had. Like you're not well off, essentially. You've recently been contacted by a woman known as Deborah Stonyark, who is a representative for Advanced Systems Limited, which is a tech startup company. This is all stuff that we established last time.
Jeff, didn't you say it was Advanced Salvage Systems?
I know that's what you think it was, but
My bad,
we
my bad.
didn't want it to be ass. So
I
all you got to
that
remember,
now.
American
You
Sign
were
Language.
outvoted.
Yes. So she gave you a salvage lead, specifically, in some credits, some seed credits. So you all headed out to a defunct corporate space station built by a company called Cloudbank Synthetics on the outer rim of the system. You use those credits to bribe your way past a blockade ship, because apparently there is a blockade preventing most traffic in and out of this particular station. And who's actually funding it is still kind of murky in exactly who that might be. People presume probably the shareholders of Cloudbank or something like that. And then you connected with a man by the name of Arcady, who runs a nearby substation called the Bell. And he gave you some basic details about artifact diving, which is what it's called. Divers are people who kind of go into this place, which is now referred to as the Deep. That's kind of the colloquial name for it. And some history. Long story short, basically this was a synthetics factory / research and development laboratory. And there was some sort of AI problem, as there's something called Monarch who has sort of taken over the station. And kind of broke their leash in some way. And it doesn't seem like Arcadia is particularly pleased with Monarch. So salvagers like yourself, you dive into the station. You look for scattered tech and data, which people are, again, referring to as artifacts that you can kind of sell to the black market people across the system, or even, just not even black market. You also met a woman by the name of Noriko? How do I pronounce it? Noriko? Who seemed to revere this station-bound creature known as the Minotaur, who she believes is godly and will somehow help humanity to evolve to better versions of themselves. Reed, because he was creepily flirting with her the whole time, took the sacrament, which involved consuming a strange piece of flesh at the altar that Noriko tends inside the Bell. And
I thought it was hors d'oeuvres.
Well, it's something. Then you all also met Ghost Eater, who is another inhabitant of the Bell, who's a cyborg, who kind of secretive, but he's only willing to share knowledge and info and all that kind of stuff if you bring him samples of ghosts in the machine, is what they're referred to as. Because like some sort of, they're referred to as ghosts, not really ghosts, but it's some sort of weird glitch when, I don't know, consciousness get flickered with some sort of tech or something like that. So finally, Arcady shuttled you all over to the Deep, dumped you in a docking bay near the first floor of what is basically a 6-floor or 6-section space station. It's an enormous station. And said he'll return in about 24 hours, but there's also a short-range transmitter radio in that docking bay that if there's emergencies or something like that, you could potentially use. But then as you pushed through the first airlock door, you found yourselves in reception and habitation, and there a body was hanging from the rafters over top of a destroyed reception desk. There was graffiti on the wall that read "One Way Out," and as the door closed behind you, you heard this like corporate bell sound, and that's where we ended. So that's where we're gonna pick up. But I have a couple thanks to do first, because I saw some bits from Farco Dev. I got some events. And, Tombstone, what's up, man? Thank you for the sub. It's good to see you again. Let's see, I see Melissa gifted a sub to Steven. That's not sure.
Thanks, Melissa.
That's the best use of that.
Another complication.
You all are so dead.
I think we had one from the last session,
You
too.
do. I never used it, so I'm actually up to 4. I have 4 complications. Great.
Oh, it's going to be
Fantastic.
fun. Who's dying tonight?
So, I need everyone. Let's go ahead and start up. So, first of all, everyone go ahead and add a stress. As you're standing here, door just closed. You hear that weird bell suddenly sound, and like maybe it's random, maybe it's not. Who exactly knows? But there you are, and you're kind of staring at this figure, and there's a very slight sway. You can see that's an electrical cord of some kind that seems to have connected them. All of you take a point of stress, as this is your first impression, really, of the station. Oh, God. Oh, Farco Dev, thank you so much for the gift sub. Okay, and everyone else, go ahead. That macro I gave you, go ahead and click it now. So they're going to do some secret rolls. They're not allowed to know about it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I'm nervous.
We all intently watch Jeff's face. As
Yeah,
he
I'm just like,
sees the
Jeff,
results.
can you look at me in my eyes, please?
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
Something
notes are
actually...
being written.
Stop.
Don't worry about it.
Notes
Don't worry about
are being written.
God.
Sorry, I got to write this down.
I'm sweating.
Okay. You should. This is very... Maybe it involves you. That's the fun thing, is that you don't know who it involves. But something just happened, that's for sure. Okay. Red pen notes. Okay. So anyway, the other things you see in this room, just to sort of refresh your memory, remember that they're kind of this gross, like you can definitely tell this is a carpeted area. It's like a reception desk as well, but you can tell there's grunge all over the carpet. It's sort of dirty and stained, etc. There's bullet casings on the ground. You can see that the reception desk has suffered damage. There's a terminal that's kind of connected to it on the other side of it. It's clearly been broken in some way. You notice with your backs to the door you just came out of from the docking bay, you can see that there is like another one of these kind of airlock doors. You know they're usually just there for safety and everything, and they usually require some kind of spinning. That's off to your left, leaving out of this room. And you also notice that there is kind of just a generic office door that's back and behind the reception desk. And I think I also have, for the players, I do think I have the image of what you see. Not sure if I shared this with you or not, but okay. What would you all like to do?
Reed will mutter, "We're all gonna die in here."
Well, I feel like we should probably try to get that body down.
I don't want to touch it.
I think he's been long dead. He can just continue to hang around. There's no need to get our hands dirty.
Well, that's just disrespectful. If that ever happens to me, please cut me down. Just want to say. As
No.
Reed said, seems like we're at risk here. So Lico's going to get up on that reception counter
Okay.
there and try to cut this body down.
Yeah.
You better hope that wire's not live.
Okay. So yeah, you get up there, you start pulling it down, and it's you probably can untie it more than you can cut through. Do you have a bladed weapon of some kind? Knife or
Do I have
axe or something?
bladed? I have a.
Just realized I don't have something open that I need.
I'll loan you my scalpel if you want.
I want to reiterate, this is hanging from an electrical cord. Maybe don't cut it. I'm not an engineer, but I'm pretty sure electricity doesn't mix well with cutting objects.
I have a.
We've got the vibe shetties.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I was struggling with the pronunciation. In my head, I'm like, how do I say that word?
I had to
again?
say it a couple times before I said something weird,
Okay.
and I'm like,
So yeah, you managed to cut the body down. That's not a problem. And it is not plugged in, thankfully. And you
And when
lay it
everything
down on the
goes
ground.
smoothly, Lico just glares at Dr. Minton for the stalling and the lack of appreciation for handling someone that's passed. So now I want to kind of take a look at, like, what are they wearing? Do they have anything in their pockets? All that stuff.
Sure. So yeah, you can tell they've got what looks like just basic kind of overalls of some kind. You can see that there's like a faded, torn up Cloudbank logo attached to the front. But otherwise, it's like this dark set of coveralls, not dissimilar from probably some of what you saw when you were walking around the bell, stained here and there with like grease and whatnot. But definitely, definitely dead, undoubtedly. And nothing in the pockets or anything like that. Well, actually, let me see. Double check something. Sorry, I get there's a lot of like random systems and things in here that I want to go through. Yeah, Liko, you start going through the pockets, and your hand, as it reaches in, you feel it kind of grasp onto like some sort of piece of like kind of hard paper, and you pull it out and you realize it's a postcard. It's fairly battered. It looks like it's been bent, and it's sort of well worn. And as you're looking at it, and I don't know what everyone else is doing, but as you're looking at it, you feel like this moment of kind of vertigo overtake you, as like your head just kind of pulls back a little bit, and like it feels like the postcard's getting further and further away, as you realize that the postcard is of the exact image of where you were born. Where was Liko born? Like what kind? You don't have to say that particular planet, but like describe something, some sort of landmark or natural feature of the place that you were born.
I mean, I guess I think I'll go mountain because she
Okay.
likes to climb mountains, so I'll say that there was a mountain there.
And yeah, you notice that probably the mountain, you can come up with a name at some point, but there it is. And not only that, as you flip it over and you look on the opposite side of the image, you don't see an address or anything written out, but you do see it's dated. And it's dated your birthday.
What? That's just and so Liko, I'm remembering my character. She is always talking to herself, so all of this is going to be happening out loud. So she's just gonna be like, I recognize this. This is where I grew up. This is Mount Suro, and
Okay.
the date. The date of that's my birthday. That doesn't make any sense.
That's weird. That's really weird.
I mean, there's weird, and there's a postcard with my birthday where I was from, somewhere I've never been before. This is like even more than weird. This is
Yeah, I mean, like, what are the odds?
You think that robot can read our minds?
Hey, Helix, what are the odds of her finding that?
Not Helix.
The odds of her finding that is 0.0000001%.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yep. Thank you for that. And so Liko's just going to kind of wander off, and she's just going to be like muttering to herself.
You should sit down, maybe for a little bit. That'd probably be nice.
There are a couple chairs and stuff. Most of them look to have been battered, but you can probably find a place to sit down, either like slide down against a wall or whatever. It's not a very big. It's a reception area, so it's not huge, but there's enough space for you to kind of like step off to the side by yourself, kind of amongst the debris a bit. What are the rest of you?
Man, we just got off the elevator and we already need a breather.
And Abby just kind of like sides Reed as she comes to like start looking around in the desk and stuff.
Okay, so the desk itself is broken. It's busted pretty bad, but you can tell like there certainly was built into, like on an angle, the underside, the interior side of the desk. There was a terminal here. You can tell that it's been busted, and like as you kind of flicker with it, it doesn't seem to activate. As you go and you're kind of sifting through like the drawers that are still intact, you notice that there's this like a kind of like an egg of some kind. Like it's a plastic. It's kind of in your hand, and you. It looks like something that you would get out of like a gumball machine. Mm-hmm. And as you kind of twist the top off, you can see this sort of gushy, yellowy ooze is there, and you realize it's some kind of stress ball that comes out. You also notice, as you're looking around the the actual what looks like the debris of this thing, you can see that there's this like crinkled up advertisement, something that kind of torn. You would think out of like a magazine. It's got that kind of glossy film to it, and it's an advertisement for nutrient paste. You can see that there's like this blood stain on it, though. Like you can tell it's got that kind of brownish look to it, and there's like this square that somebody wrote and drew over around the blood stain, and somebody wrote in this kind of shiny silvery marker, like get your nutrient paste here, and that's like been balled up into the debris.
Okay. Abby will leave that behind, but she'll take the stress ball over to Liko, but she'll keep the egg for herself. Hey, just stress, just squeeze this, and she just puts it in your hand, no context, and then just walks away.
Liko's gonna take it, squeeze it a couple times, and then try to do the like tennis ball off the wall thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not that it doesn't rebound that easily.
Exactly.
It's
So it
so it like hits and then like thuds back down to the ground a bit. Yeah. All right, what are the rest of you doing?
We have 23 hours and 52 minutes to meet up with Arcady. We should travel this floor to find other crew or wherever they left off. So I'll head over to maybe that little storage area.
There's like an airlock door that kind of went off to the left as you came in from the docking bay area, from the stairwell, and then behind the reception desk there is a basic office door, like an interior office door. It doesn't have like your standard like airlock wheel that doesn't keep shut. You can see that there's like the little line of space at the very bottom. Pretty standard door. So those are the two obvious ways out of here.
I will check the office door then.
Okay. Yeah, you open it up, and you notice that it's actually not a closet, but in fact it is a stairwell. And when you look at it, it's actually concrete stairs. And you can see that there's some scuff marks here and there, and it's fairly dark as the stairs go down a little bit of ways, and you can kind of see the periodic flickering of some kind of light. Maybe it's like there's a receptacle down there that's malfunctioning. You're not entirely sure, but go ahead and actually no, you don't have to roll this. You hear the sounds of footsteps kind of coming up. You can't see who's making them because it's a little bit further down. Like there's the kind of the overhang of as the stairwell slopes down, but you can hear someone moving around down there.
There appears to be a presence downstairs, and I will go down.
Okay. Do you go down just
I'll
free as
stealth,
day?
so I'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Menden's
sure.
going to follow Helix.
Okay.
I'll follow too.
All right. Three of the guys start going down the stairs stealthily as best you can. Sure. And what about Liko and Abby?
Should we go with them, or you want to get the other door?
What? Yeah, we should probably go with them.
All right, fair.
She'll just pick up the stress ball and just like stress ball in one hand, postcard in the other, sort of relying on the shadow of Abby's back to kind of be her guiding point as she's walking.
Helix, go ahead and roll like let's do like a speed test or something. Not really sure how to roll stealth.
All right.
Now that I think about it. It's like looking at the attributes. I'm like, this is just speed. Okay. So
I failed.
that's fine. You know how I always kind of do degrees. So you're moving down at a fairly careful pace. And as you kind of take the step, that would like put you underneath that overhang of the stairwell. You stumble a little bit. Maybe there's debris on the floor, on the step itself, and it kind of causes your leg to slip, and you miss a step, and you kind of stumble, and you come face to face, within just a few feet of each other of an android. And you look at this thing, and it is outdated, like by a significant margin. Definitely budget tier. This is like a mass-produced kind, and it's a little like, for you, it's probably no big deal, but it's got this blank mannequin-like face, and you don't like its eyes. They're not there. There's nothing there. Its mouth is there, but it doesn't seem to function. And you can see that it's carrying a gun, and it turns. It kind of turns towards you as you kind of stumble down. What do you want to do in this case? As you're like on the ground right in front of it, having stumbled down the stairs, and this thing is turning its gun in your direction.
I'll have to scurry away and find cover just in case.
Okay. Leo and Reed, you're the next ones down, and as you're moving down, suddenly Helix is kind of stumbling back up the stairs, and you look over you look over his shoulder, and you can see that there is this kind of creepy looking android with what looks like some kind of gun in their hand, kind of pointing and like sort of almost kind of cocking its head to the side ever so slightly as it's like watching Helix scramble up. What do the two of you do?
Well, all right. Now calm down there, buddy.
And you hear the button, or not the button, the trigger of the gun suddenly pull, and you hear click, 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 as it seems to be out of bullets, and then it begins to like run in your direction. But as it's doing so, you notice that one of its legs is kind of dragging behind it, like it's kind of already injured in some way, and it starts chasing you guys up the stairs. What do you all want to do?
Well, who said I was running up the stairs?
You were still on the stairs. You're the only person I had down the stairs was Helix. So what would you all like to do as this is
I'll swing
about
my
to
crowbar
run up
at
the
it.
stairs? Okay.
Crowbar.
My crowbar.
So everybody tell me, so we're going to do the non-structured combat stuff. So just tell me, so I gave you the situation. Everyone tell me what you're doing. Everyone's kind of aware to one degree or another of this situation. Tell me what you're doing, and then we'll see what happens. So Reed swinging his crowbar at it. What about the rest of you?
I want to try and like kick it back down the stairs. I guess like a Spartan kick or whatever.
Okay, you just want to kind of kick it back down. Perfect. What about Abby and Liko and Helix?
Depending what they're doing, Abby will be at the door ready to shut it. Like if they run up, we can try and shut it before it gets through.
It's just kind of holding in action up at the top of the stairs. And Liko, what are you doing?
And Liko is going to have the vibration out at the ready.
Okay, but what do you want to do? Do you actually want to go and swing? Do you want to stay in the back? Like, are you like what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm staying back toward Abby.
Okay, so you're not okay. So then Helix, last person I need to get to.
Yeah, I'll follow up on the kick and have it pinned if it's prone at all.
Okay, so I want Reed, go ahead and roll for your crowbar. Menton, you can roll if you want an unarmed or probably just a strength. And Helix, you can do so as well.
You said combat for me?
Yeah, it's going to be a combat for you. The other two, you're just trying to push it, right? You're not actually attacking it. You're just trying to knock it down, so I'll take strength from you guys.
That's a failure.
Hey, success.
Okay, wow. With the two of you,
success.
and a critical success from Leo. So what happens is, like, Reed, you go to swing at this thing, but you miss, and your crowbar kind of, you like mistime its ascension up the stairs, and so you swing just a little too early, so it goes right over top as it very, very deftly, but kind of in a sort of blocky fashion, ducks underneath it, and you smash the crowbar into the wall. But as it's ducking, that's right when like Helix and Leo on your sides just collectively just knock it down, and you see as it goes flying and tumbling backwards, lands on the ground right where you had just fallen, Helix, a few steps down, and so it's kind of prone at this point. But in the process of doing that, like you hit it, you're able to like Leo, you're able to like kind of grab the gun as you're, as it's going to kind of stumbles free, and so it's fallen down to the ground. You have this unloaded, empty submachine gun in your hands, but you see this thing is on the ground and is in the process of getting back up. What do you all want to do? And you
Swing
look up,
the
by the way,
crowbar
Abby
again.
and Liko up there. Okay.
Is there any kind of furniture we can pin it down with next to it?
So, yeah, if you move down a little bit further, you notice that you're in this, like, when you look ahead, you can see that there is what looks like a kind of a hall, like a wide hall kind of checkpoint area. And I'm trying to get this description correct, but you can tell as you look forward and beyond where this droid is, that there is like bulletproof glass that has been fragmented and like ripped apart. You can see that there is like a checkpoint, like where there's a series of like these collapsed metal detectors along the wall, and then where it looks like an entryway, but it looks like it's suffered some significant damage. There's some kind of like slag machine gun that's attached and right next to where the bulletproof glass was, and you see another one of these androids right there next to the machine gun, except this thing is like ripped apart and almost looks like it's this shredded like piece of weeds kind of like sticking up, as it's no longer in sort of its full capacity, like something ripped it apart. And that's what you see as you step down. So you can continue to swing at this thing.
Yeah, I'd like to try and hit it with crowbar again now, especially
Okay.
now that it's on the ground.
So Reed, you take a couple steps down, you go to swing at it. Helix and Leo, what are you two doing since we're up front as well?
I want to try and pin it down with something heavy or large.
Okay.
If he gets it pinned, I want to see if I can like hack it or some sort of diagnostics on it.
Okay, you would probably need to you would need to connect it to some kind of console somewhere. It's not like, you wouldn't be able to connect yourself to it. Like, you would need to have it go and route through a separate console to be able to do some kind of scan to it. Or you would need to have a diagnostic scanner, which I don't think any of you have. So I don't think you have the tools for it. Abby and Liko, you watch on the stairs as the three guys just continue to run, and they almost kind of get out of the way. You hear the sounds of fighting below. So
Liko's gonna run down.
Okay. So Liko runs down. Abby, you're waiting by the door.
I like shut the door behind me as I
So
like
very
walk
nice of
down.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. As you walk on down. Okay. And you see, you see what happens. Okay. So Liko and Abby are just running down the stairs. Reed's trying to hit it again with a crowbar. Helix and Menton. Well, Menton is trying to pin it. Helix, what are you doing specifically? Because I know like the thing that you wanted to do is probably not going to apply.
Then I'll
Is there
just
something else?
do whatever destructive capabilities I have to like stun or disable it.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever. If you just want to, you can roll an attack. That's fine.
Okay.
So Reed and Helix, you can go ahead and roll at advantage since they're down on the ground. Menton, if you're going to try to pin it, it'll be a contest. I'm going to contest it this time between you and it. So roll a. Roll a strength to try to pin it down.
Would this be an advantage or no?
I'm going to say, since it's just you doing it and you're trying to pin down this thing, I'm going to say no advantage in this one. But with a 2, you do manage to keep it from getting up. So it's trying to come back up, but between everyone kind of swinging down on it. So let's see. Helix, you got, with advantage, you were success. Is that right?
I got a 53, so it has to be above the target.
Let's be under.
No, I failed then.
Okay, so you miss. Let's see.
With advantage, I failed.
Okay, so both of you are swinging at this thing, but you're unable to make any contact with it. Leo, you're able to pin it, but it's still down there. It's going to take a swing at one of the three of you. I will randomly pick based on it, but it's going to be at disadvantage because it's kind of being pinned down. It's going to go at. Actually, it's not going to go at Helix. It's going to go at Leo. So it's going to attempt to just sort of swing at you as best it can with its bare hands. Let's see. That is a success with a 56 under 60. 10 points of damage as you all are swinging at things, as holding this thing down. You watch as this fist, this like blocky arm, just reaches out and swings, and it catches you like square in the chest. You just feel like the wind almost knock out of you.
So I don't have my hazard suit anymore now? I think that's how you said armor works, is it's just gone?
Yeah, it just rips through it. Like, it's not gone, you have to repair it, but like you can repair it later.
Oh,
but like,
whoops, I deleted it.
It's okay, it's in the items. So it just, you watch it as it just punches, and as it does so, like you can feel the suit itself just tear as it manages to like reach its arm inside and just starts kind of pulling and trying to get up towards your neck. So how much armor did you have?
I had 5.
So take 5 points of damage off your health.
Okay.
All right, but you are still okay. All right, so new situation. This thing is pinned but swinging wildly. Just hits Menton. The 3 of you are already on it. Wynn, you're now in the fight. Abby, you're now in the fight. What do the 5 of you want to do here?
Swinging at I'm trying to take off the arm that just hit Leo.
Okay. All right.
Careful, it's a slippery fucker. I'll swing again with my crowbar.
Okay.
After taking half of my health from one hit, I'm getting away from it. I'm going upstairs.
Yeah. So you see Leo run away. He like lets go and starts coming up the chair, back up the stairs. Liko, you kind of take the position, but this also means he's not pinned anymore as Leo lets go, but he's still kind of flailing around. Reed, you're swinging. Wynn, you're swinging. Helix and Abby, what are you doing?
I'm going to keep on swinging until this is disabled.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to fight everything. I just want to warn you. It's okay to do what Derek did and run away. All right. So those of you who are fighting and swinging, you can go ahead and roll at advantage as it's still lying on the ground. Hasn't quite gotten up yet. Probably should have switched over to some.
Statistically, I should have hit by now.
Not really. Did any of you
Yeah.
actually successfully hit?
I have a
Yeah.
47% chance to hit, and I've rolled 5 times.
Yeah, I did hit 1.
So Liko rolled a 7 under 32 for 14 damage.
Okay. 14 damage, and then Helix, you did 9 as well. Is that right?
Rolled an 8, only 1 damage though.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at Abby's.
Ugh.
Sorry, I got to scroll all the way up. Okay, so 15 total
Yeah.
damage.
We did get some bits earlier. I'm not sure what if those won't come into play because we had advantage anyway, or
They're for advantage, so
yeah.
tapping into them is going to be for advantage. Okay, so Liko, you hack down into this thing, but at the same time, like you're able to do damage to it, but you try to hack off its arm, but the ricochet just gets stopped as it barely gets through the sort of pseudo flesh that covers the exterior parts of the skin. You cut through the coveralls of this thing. You can feel it cut into the to the synth flesh, and then it just halts and stops as whatever sort of infrastructure this thing has is keeping it from going. Helix, you are kind of like punching away at these like important point. Maybe you're trying to go at its like, you know, at where like its nerve centers might be or whatever, and you're barely able to pinprick this thing. Abby, you're wailing away ineffectually as well. Reed, I don't know what Reed's doing. I feel like Reed might be drunk as he continues to miss the Marine.
He didn't realize that we were going on the dive right away, you know, so he didn't have time to sober up.
So this thing's going to swing back. I'm going to say actually it's going to stand up first, and then it's because no one's trying to pin it to keep it down. You're all just kind of swinging. So it's going to stand, and then it's going to swing at a random target. Okay. This is going to be at Corporal Reed. This is not going to be a disadvantage. It's going to be normal. As he stood up, and he looks over towards Corporal Reed, despite the fact that Corporal Reed hasn't done anything to him, is probably isn't that weak, just turns around and just with an immense amount of strength that probably only comes from artificial lives, his arm reaches forward like a piston, and you just feel like a crack in your chest as the fist lands.
Does my tank
14
top
points.
protect me at all?
It does not. That's 14 points of damage.
God.
I have 1 armor point, so that is 13 points of damage.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So we were dumb.
How much health did you
This was a
have?
bad idea.
I did roll max health,
Just one
so
of them,
I'm down to 7 now.
Oh my God.
Okay. And so you still have health left on your first wound?
Correct.
Okay, so no wounds or anything left. Okay. All right. So this thing is standing. It just tried to collapse Reed's chest. Menton has run back up the stairs. What do you all want to do?
Follow Dr. Menton.
Okay, so you want to follow?
Yeah. I suggest we retreat. This is futile.
What are our odds of success? Sorry, Helix. Sorry.
Everyone who's running away, with the exception Leo, you're fine. But the other four of you, roll speed tests.
Oh.
Okay. I'm slow.
Can I take an advantage for this?
If we have audience die, yeah, go ahead.
We do.
Reed, are you staying
have
in?
To hit it. You're
staying around?
Hit it.
All right, never mind about the
Why?
speed test. Never mind about the speed test. Reed wants to die.
Statistically, I should have hit it by now.
You keep telling yourself that, man. As the rest of you run up the stairs, you look back. You see your Marine friend is there, continuing to swing. Reed, go ahead and swing.
I will use an audience die if you mind marking that down because I need the
Got it.
advantage to
Yeah.
hit this.
Okay.
I didn't end up using it, so we're good. Hey! Oh,
There are
that
2
damage
hits on
roll.
advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, bad damage though.
And you roll 3 points of damage as you hit it back, but you know it almost like your fist hurts almost more than it probably hurt it, as you can feel.
I got pushed back so far that I was like off balance as I swung, and it was really kind of pathetic. Yeah, it didn't
It's a
have all my-
crowbar, so it was just like the very like edge of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
that hit it. You didn't actually get it like wrong
You
side.
just got the curve.
Scrape some proto flesh off, but that was like about it.
So the rest of you, I would say, Leo, you're out of the stairwell. You're back into the reception. You're good to go. The other 3 of you are running up the stairs. You look over your shoulder. You realize Reed's not coming with you, and you look at just in time for this thing to swing once more at Reed.
Where
Again,
the fuck y'all going?
unarmed. This time he
Yes.
misses, actually, as Reed, you're able to duck out of the way as its kind of piston-like fist misses you. But at the same time, it smashes into the wall, and you see it leaves this huge dent in the wall, kind of ripping through the metal panel. Reed, what do you want to do?
I'll run now. I got my hit. You know, my pride is salvaged. I'm ready to go.
Okay,
15
roll a speed
damage. I
test.
can't take another hit like that.
Would you like an advantage?
How
on
many
your speed?
audience dice do we have?
I think we had
I will.
5. I think we had 5 total.
Just
so
one of these
you're
I'm
good.
sorry, I'm wasting them all.
Okay.
Ooh, success barely. 97-28. Target
Okay.
33.
So as you go and turn to try to run up the stairs, it lunges at you, but you're able to kind of duck underneath it. Actually, I probably should have done a body save, but this is fine. Speed's fine. But you're able to kind of duck underneath as both of its arms reach out to grab you, and it stumbles into the wall. Again, its leg seems to be not quite. It's kind of throwing it off balance, and it stumbles a bit, which gives you enough time to run up the stairs. Now, all of you at this point are in the reception area. There is this regular door. This is not an airlock door in front of you. This is just a normal office door. As you're closing, whoever's last, we'll say Reed's last, as you're going to close the door, you look down, you can see that this android is kind of shifting and kind of getting its bearings and is now running back up, and is now kind of running up the stairs towards you all. What do you want to do?
Run to that other door.
I want to barricade this door. Like
Okay.
once Reed gets in, like I want to move something behind the
Okay.
door.
Abby, you run over to the other door, not the door going back the way you came, but to the other airlocked door. Okay. When you wait for Reed to shut the door, and you're trying to, there's debris, there's chairs, there's this reception desk, but you're not sure whether that's anchored in or not.
Were there filing cabinets?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's a reception area. It's
Could use
not-
the body.
You know, I had the same thought too, actually.
I'll throw it down the stairs.
I was thinking behind the door.
Okay.
Wait, and then do the chair under the doorknob thing if it's a knob door.
Okay.
Reed is just trying to get out at this point.
Okay. So Reed, you run
He's
out.
finding it really hard to breathe after that hit to
When-
the chest.
When you drag the body over, Menton, Helix, what did you two do?
Just getting that airlock door, getting ready to go through it.
Okay. So you and Abby are in the same area. Leo, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, Leo is just trying to get away, so he'll just go wherever the group is going, and he's just clutching his chest and wheezing right now.
Okay. So when you're in the back, you watch as the rest of them are running over towards the airlock door on the far side of the reception desk, and you drag the body in front. You hear the footsteps. You lock the door, and you immediately hear the sounds of like a smash against it. And right off the bat, the door looks like it's already on its way to being knocked, kind of like pushed directly open. You all spin open the airlock door on the other side of the reception desk and run on out. And you quickly close it behind, get the spinning going, right? And you tighten it up. Okay. You look around and you can see, like, you are in, it's, again, fairly decently lit corridor. Like, it's got like this backlighting that's happening here and there. More debris here, all over and around. But as you're watching, you can see that. Sorry, I'm just going to switch over some stuff here. As you hear the sounds of like the smashing faintly behind you, it's like you can tell that they're trying to break that door down. You look off, there's kind of a corridor heading off to the left. You can see that there's a corridor heading off to the right. Now you're at this little T section. You can see a handful of doors almost immediately to your right. There's like 3 doors almost immediately to your right. And like looking left, you can see the corridor runs a ways and then kind of goes around a corner. And you still hear the faint sounds of the smashing of that android behind you. What do you all do? You're not completely out of the woods yet. You just tell me.
Menton will just wheeze to everyone else. That thing gave me a thoracic contusion. If that's... We need to not engage on things, even if they're this strong at level 1.
Yeah, I almost bought a farm on that. I am not too happy here. We need to get out of here.
Looks like there's doors behind the doors off to the right. So I say we go that way. So that if it doesn't see us this way, it might.
Yeah, if you look off to the right and like you take a couple steps, Liko, and you can see that there's these old. You're not even sure if they're old; they're just damaged. But it looks like there's these labels, these corporate labels next to some of these doors. There's on your, like, as you make the right at this T section on your left, there's 2 doors: meeting room A, meeting room B, and then you see there's a cafeteria sign moving forward.
Can I use my bioscanner to scan 100 meters in all directions to see if there's any signs of life?
Sure. Let me check the size of something really quick.
I want more space between me and that fucking thing.
You do not detect anything living within 100 meters. Other than yourselves, of course. Like if you do like some sort of scan.
Yeah, so Menton will wheeze out. There's no survivors nearby. We got a ways to go.
You hear now that you hear on the security door that you came through, the sort of spinning airlock door, you hear the sounds of the wheel beginning to spin.
Cafeteria, everybody?
Yeah, fucking booking it.
Is there any way I could jam that wheel with my crowbar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'll do that.
You run over and you just you get the crowbar. I mean, you're gonna have to take it out of your inventory, but you put the crowbar in the wheel.
Yeah,
and so now
it's worth it for now.
As you see it spin, it stops and is like, you actually see the metal almost kind of bend ever so slightly, but it doesn't fully break. And then you hear banging, slamming on the door.
I think that might buy us some time.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
You see that bend in the metal? That's what he did to my sternum. Doctor, you gonna be able to fix this up?
Yeah, give me time and a proper table and we could address this later.
All right, let's get on out of here.
All right, so you got 2 meeting rooms, meeting room A, meeting room B, and you have the cafeteria. So cafeteria is like straight
votes the cafeteria.
Okay. All right. I'm assuming I was waiting for other people to.
Yeah. Sorry.
Are we all going? Or
Cafeteria. Cafeteria. She's our pilot. We follow her.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Misroll. Sorry. Okay. You You push open the door to the cafeteria. It's another one of these kind of office doors. Like same thing with the meeting room thing. They're not airlocked in any way. They don't have this sort of spinning wheel. But you push the cafeteria door up, and you can see that there's it's fairly empty. Like you can definitely see that there's a whole mess load of like broken equipment that's been strewn about. You can see that there's barricades of these like steel tables and chairs that have been set up in different areas. The lights are flickering. These fluorescent lights overhead are flickering here and there. You can see that there is this vinyl banner that was likely at one point draped from one corner of one of the walls to the other, but has kind of fallen down, so now it's vertical on one side of the room, and it says, over 50 billion synthetics sold. You made it happen. You also notice that there's you see another android. And you know it to be an android.
Pull my knife.
You know it to be an android because it's missing everything from the waist down. It's a torso only. And it's laying there, and it looks to be inert and dead, or right behind, partially behind one of these barricades. But as you get a little closer, you realize that it's actually not dead and inert. Its arms have kind of reached out, and you can see that it's digging through what looks like the corpse or of another broken android on the ground. And as you start to shift around this barricade, you realize that it's not just a singular torso, but there's this kind of cluster of these other kind of android parts that have sort of spread about behind this. When Reed, I'm going to say Reed since you're the one who picked your knife out, you're kind of moving towards it. You see the one that's kind of reaching into the cavity of one of these derelict androids. It kind of looks up at you, eye kind of sort of flickering in some way. You can see there's like pseudo milk that's being dripped down of a horrible wound in the forehead. And it says, "Oh, thank goodness. I am so glad someone is here to help. Oh, please help. Oh, goodness. Please let me. Is this a rescue?" And it's like looking up, eye kind of flickering around, not working at Reed as you have the knife in front of you.
I'll spin the knife around so like the blade is like pressed against my wrist a little bit, not as overt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need rescue? We can do a rescue.
Yes, please. There are deranged synthetic androids on this station attacking all of us humans. Please.
Yeah, you're telling me. I just got hit by one. It hit me like a semi-truck.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. I have suffered a wound as well, as you can see. And it kind of like moves its hand up to its forehead, ignoring the fact that it's missing its legs and its waist.
Yeah, the thing even had some sort of gun on it. Where do you think it got that?
I do not know. There are many of us who have come to this station to ransack it, perhaps from one of them.
And how long you been here, Len? You're not looking like you're in too good shape.
Oh, I have been here for a while.
Liko will, kind of poke her head around Reed and just say, what did you say the extent of your injuries was?
I have a wound in my forehead. I have a splitting headache. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Are you noticing any lower body injuries?
No, just the forehead.
He's got one of them Jurassic contusions the doctor was talking about.
Ask him where his crew is.
And Lego's going to look and just assume that the question was heard.
No, because like Abby kind of like whispers that to you. She's not talking.
Tell her that I am here and I can hear what she is saying. They are scattered on the station. We encountered hostile synthetic life who were hostile towards human life and have damaged us accordingly.
There any chance that there are some survivors like you?
I hope so. Yes, I
Did you
hope
see him
so.
die?
I do not
That's-
remember.
Traumatic to ask.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. I just need the facts, you know. If he saw him die, then we know they're dead. But if he didn't see him die, then there's a chance they're alive.
What part
true.
of this floor were you guys located at? Where were you guys looting?
We were not here. We were on floor 3. Floor 3. Some time ago.
And you think those synthetics, they followed you up here?
Possibly. Yes. Yes, they are very devious. I just want to leave. Do you have a ship? Yes. Can I come with you?
We can certainly work something out. I gotta ask. I see you rummaging through this corpse right here. What are you looking for?
Oh, you know. Little of this, little of that. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Anything
I really
can be useful.
All right.
Okay.
Androids have logic cores. They sell on the market for credits.
Oh, now that is good to know. Helix, did you know that?
Of course I knew that. I'm gonna, while they're chatting with the android, I'm gonna drag.
You have a synthetic with you. Oh, goodness. Oh, are they friendly or are they aggressive?
Oh no, Helix, he's a darling. You know.
Yeah,
Does
he's super
like
nice. I think he
human
might have
life.
something to do with stealing socks, though. If you got any socks, you might want to hide them. I haven't been quite sure. I haven't seen him with them, but I think it's him.
Oh. Why would he steal your socks? That is strange. My feet get so cold. So very cold in space.
Menton's gonna murmur to Abby and to Liko. Do you think this is one of those ghosts that Ghost Eater was talking about, or just a malfunctioning synth?
No, he literally came from the factory. Are you kidding me?
I don't know what these consciousness that are if it's talking like a person, that sounds like a consciousness. I'm just trying to piece together what I just learned.
I was actually wondering about all of that, but that does kind of make sense. That could be a way that ghosts happen.
I am
Mr. Person
sorry.
right there, would you mind if we have a little group huddle over here a little bit away? We're going to try and work out some transportation for you.
Are you a ghost?
No,
Have you
I am
ever
not
heard
a
of those
ghost.
before?
I am a person. Actual and whole.
Whole.
What a
What did you
say your name was?
question.
Yeah,
I am
what's your
Steven.
name? All right, Steven.
No wonder you look so ugly. We're just going to have a little huddle over here, and we will be right back once we figure out your transportation.
I will wait here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna-
Thank you.
We're gonna maybe head on over. We're gonna look and try and see if we can find some of your friends. Because
Oh.
our ship's not here, but it will be.
Oh. That would be wonderful. I left them the last time I saw them. We were in the floor 3. We were in Condensation Falls.
Condensation Falls.
I'd like to try and pull Helix aside without being too close to earshot.
And Minton will say to the guy on the floor, I thought the factory was floor 3. What kind of name is Condensation Falls for the factory?
The factory is quite substantial in size, with many subsystems in subsections. Condensation Falls is one such substation.
Oh. Right.
Helix, is there any chance that you synthetics have like an off switch or something like that? Something that we could like lift up a little piece of flesh and push a button, turn him off?
We're not robots, Reed. We're human, lifelike.
Right. But like, I mean, you could say I have an off switch. It's right here at the base of my skull. I was just curious if you had something similar.
No, I believe I don't have one.
Helix, by the way, take a
Sounds like I
stress.
need to bash him with something big then.
Take a stress. This is a pretty like horrific looking situation, and I think you, especially being an android, probably would a little off putting. The equivalent of a human seeing like somebody blown to bits.
Just
Yeah.
get dug around in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think we want to take his what was that core?
Logic core, yes. It appears his is malfunctioning heavily. He believes he's human.
Yeah, do you think that's something that we should try and salvage? I
should
mean,
definitely
it's
bring him
clear
to the surface.
he's.
Do y'all really want to fuck with another android? I'd like to get out of here.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, calling it even, if you know what I mean.
I would tend to agree with Abby that it appears unwise to pick fights at times that we don't need to. So perhaps we can leave this one to his ghost.
That's a person.
You hear the intercoms suddenly crackle, and you hear the sound of that like bell coming through, and then static kind of comes on as well, and kind of buried beneath that static, you hear what sounds just like corporate music, just like basic elevator type music playing for like a steady like 30 to 45 seconds or so, and then it kind of crackles out and the intercom goes away.
Perfectly creepy chimes, by the way. Excellent choice.
I don't know that I'm going to get used to that.
Abby's gonna start heading to the doors not that we came through, but any other doors to get out of here.
Cafeteria.
Reed would like to. While she's doing that, Reed would just start searching around the cafeteria too.
Yeah, you do notice that there do appear to like there's a couple different doors. One of like you can see that's one on the opposite wall from where you came in. You can see two on the wall where the like that banner is hanging from. There's like two on either side as well. And they look just like normal office doors. They don't look airlocked or anything like that. I'm sorry, Reed. What were you saying you were doing?
I'd like to search the cafeteria, just see if there's anything like on shelves, maybe food, anything that we might be able to use to help us dive better.
Yeah, there are a couple, like you could definitely see that there are, there's debris kind of scattered about here and there, but there is these leftover, what look like cabinets, probably where like certain things were set up in such a way to, to sort of facilitate, corporate luncheons or something like that. And as you're going through, you do actually come across what looks like this. It actually looks like one of those, like almost like a, what am I thinking? Like a Tupperware container. And as you pick it up, like you could hear it kind of rattling something around. And when you peel the plastic top back, you notice that there's 4 grenades inside. EMP grenades, actually.
I'm just going to pocket these.
Actually, I don't have them on your sheet. Just go ahead and add EMP grenades.
EP?
EMP. And you have 4 of them.
EMP, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should go back and check out that synthetic we had coming after us. I could get my crowbar back. And I'll show the Tupperware to the rest of them.
Who just keeps grenades in a tupper?
My best friend does.
Okay.
I don't know his name, but I'd sure like to thank him.
And Abby kind of like nods, and she's gonna open one of the doors next to where that hanging banner was.
Okay. So yeah, you open it up, and you can tell that this opens into a kitchen, like a kind of a sort of a preparatory area. There's definitely seems like, again, it's been completely ransacked. Like, it's stainless steel furniture everywhere, and so a lot of stuff is in relatively decent shape, but has been dented. So you see countertops and things like that here and there. Shelves, first glance, look empty. You do see that there definitely is like the oven still seems to be mostly intact, like the stovetop area. One thing you notice that there is a prep table that actually seems to be intact as well. It doesn't seem to have suffered too much damage. And at the center of it, there is this statue of a golden rat.
I'll like inspect it closer, pick it up, turn it around.
So yeah, you pick it up and you turn around, and as you get closer and you look down, roll a d6.
Abby, you should have replaced it with a bag of sand.
5.
Okay. So yeah, you can see that there's a plate, like on the prep table right next to this, and there's like looks like this old, ratty dishcloth that kind of is that's sort of over top of it. And as you get close, you realize that there's kind of something underneath it, and you peel it back, and you notice that there are 2 magazines of ammo. One, it looks like it's for a submachine gun, and one, it looks like it's for kind of a more high-end weapon.
Okay, and I'll pocket both of those.
Yeah, and you pick up the golden rat, and again, you look at it. It's a golden rat. Like, it's in a sort of a kind of a standing position. It's not cartoony. It looks like an actual rat.
Fancy like rat, brown rat. What kind of rat are we working with here?
It's a gold rat. I thought that was pretty clear. It looks like it's on its hind legs. It's kind of standing up, like it's sniffing, and it balances on the hind legs when it's standing.
Okay, yeah. Abby is going to take this as a sign, and she's going to take this rat with her.
Okay. Pocket the rat.
And she's not, like, if I have like a backpack or something, I'm going to put it in there, and I'm not going to mention that I have the rat.
Are you mentioning the ammo?
Yeah.
Because I believe it was Leo that got the submachine gun?
I didn't pick anything up, no. I think it
Who
was the
got
android that
submachine gun
had
from
it,
the
but-
synthetic.
No, Leo, you got it because you had the critical success. I think so.
Oh,
I
I
was
see.
like your bonus for the critical success that like you managed to knock the gun out of the way. So yeah, you have an SMG. It's no.
It's Christmas for you, buddy.
For it. Yeah.
Well, so he was going to look around and see if there are any like first aid kits or supply chests mounted on the wall or anything like near where they would have like the defibrillators.
In the cafeteria or in the kitchen?
In the cafeteria or in the kitchen, either.
Okay. So yeah, you look around the cafeteria, and you kind of go through sort of the same cabinets and such. Yeah, you could definitely tell it's been ransacked. Someone's done this before. Like there's someone's gone through here. Like the drawers are empty. Like you see like like what looks like a package of like plastic, silverware and stuff here and there. You do find one thing. You find this like a hollowed arm cast. Like someone like broke their arm and they were wearing some kind of cast, but it's just the cast, and you can see like it's been signed like a dozen or more times, and it's like in the same shaky handwriting, but all the names are different, even though the handwriting is the exact same.
To do field medicine, would I be allowed to heal hit points on people with that? And do I need like any kind of first aid equipment to do that skill check?
Right. So healing is let me pull up the rules for healing. Get our little cheat sheet up, see if I have it. This is what happens when I forget. So sorry, we're doing like first edition, so I'm going through like which is still kind of in process. So I kind of have to check some things here and there.
Yeah, I was looking for it too.
What is everybody else doing, by the way? While I look this up.
I'd like to show Leo how a submachine gun reloads and how to handle it, where the safety is.
Okay.
Leo's definitely handing that over to the Marine, and he's going to say, look, if you get me medical supplies, I'll consider the debt paid, but I don't know how to use these things.
Well, I mean, I can't promise you anything. I got some.
Oh no, did we just lose Steven?
Take a grenade.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He spilt Coke on his modem.
Oh, no.
What did I drop there?
You
Oh,
did.
there you
He
go.
froze
You
for
look-
a
you look
moment,
pretty
yeah.
Sorry.
It sounded like you were just like throwing a grenade at Dr. Minton.
Sorry. No, I said I don't have any healing supplies. I can give you a grenade if you want.
No, I'll just expect you to stay alive long enough where you give me supplies later to keep you all alive and myself.
Yeah. Here's some ammo that I found. Maybe it fits. I don't really know guns. And Abby will head to the other room once we're done. Or hang out if I can assist.
Okay, give people a chance to do other things, because the idea of like you going in and searching a room is literally like 10, 15 minutes worth of searching. So I just don't like what's Liko doing, what's Helix doing. So I kind of want to know what the two of them are doing. So Helix and Liko, what are you two up to?
If there's not much left in the cafeteria, I'll check out in the hallway again. Maybe the room across.
If you want to search the cafeteria, I would say between Reed and Menton, you feel like they've kind of scoured it decently enough. So you can either kind of go into the kitchen with Abby, and you would realize that both of those doors on that one wall with the banner, both of them go into the kitchen. And then there is the other door that's kind of across from where you entered the cafeteria that leads out of the room as well.
Yeah, I'll make my way out to the other door from the cafeteria.
Okay.
Liko will go with.
Okay, so
Helix.
the two of you head out. Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'm
see if
sorry
there's,
for my
like-
bad internet. Did I get the submachine gun?
Yeah, he
Yes.
does.
Leo, I would have you take a EMP grenade.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I don't see any. So, what skill is it you wanted to use, Menton? I'm sorry, say it again.
I think I was just going to try and use field medicine. Surgery seems a bit too much for the injuries we've taken.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's not a wound. It's just you're just doing like field. Yeah, that's fine. You can roll it. I don't see any rules one way or the other. So if you want to take a couple minutes to just sort of kind of patch up or like wrap something around, something like that, that's fine.
Okay, I'll do that to Reed, and then if I can take time for myself, I'll do that as well.
Okay, so you start doing that. Abby, you're still kind of rummaging around in the kitchen. You took the ammo. You kind of pass it over to Reed. You've got the golden rat. Helix and Liko, as you leave, you notice that up ahead in like this hallway, this corridor, that you can tell that there is like actually an airlocked. There's an airlocked door in front of you. It looks like in the middle of the corridor itself. You do notice that there is there's what looks like these arrows and stuff that are kind of pointing in different directions. It does reference like offices, so it looks like somehow through this airlocked door, that kind of decompression chamber, there's likely going to be offices. However, as you get relatively close, as you're kind of moving down the hall and the lights are kind of flickering in, you do notice that it's another one of these checkpoints that you see ahead, like the security checkpoint. And this one, the difference is that this one actually seems to be intact. You notice that it's certainly battle scarred. Like you can tell that something's happened here, but you don't see like that ruptured, like bulletproof glass anywhere. Instead, it's a barred gate that blocks this passage forward, like right where that airlocked chamber is. and you can see that there's these series of like weapon detectors here and there embedded in the walls, and within that bulletproof glass box that's actually intact here, you can see there is a machine gun with a swivel turret and another one of those androids that are there. Melissa, roll a D100 and say high or low before you do so.
Low.
Okay. Okay.
3.
So
Yeah.
currently it's swiveled away from you, but you can tell that it's kind of, it's in a process. But as you kind of curve around the corner and look down the corridor, you see that the machine gun in the android that's operating it is swiveled away, and it's about to pivot and start swiveling back in the direction where you in Helix are. So you have a moment.
So Liko's going to do sort of the driving armbar thing, or she's just going to kind of extend her arm out across Helix's chest and just kind of push us both back. And Liko will just kind of whisper over to Helix. Machine gun turret. Security station.
Well, Reed did find EMPs, or we can just wait for it to turn around and run across.
Yeah, let's finish up what we're doing in this area before we move on, but we are going to need to tread carefully around every corner here, I think. There's a lot of security.
So
Okay.
is this... Yeah, was this checkpoint just like in the hallway to get
It's
across
blocking the
next
way
floor?
forward. Yeah, it's blocking the way forward. There's like, you can tell that it's a security checkpoint for what looks like an airlocked like door area that kind of like connects this part that you're in of this floor to like another airlocked section of the floor.
Would we be able to go back towards where those offices were? Like there was the airlock that we jammed with the crowbar.
Mhm.
And then we kind of went down to the right, and so there was the cafeteria, and then there were the two conference
There's the
rooms,
meeting
right?
room. Yeah, you can back that way. There
Yeah.
were meeting rooms. Yeah.
Yeah. So Liko would want to investigate the meeting rooms.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
you start
don't mind
heading
getting
back.
my crowbar back and maybe seeing the guy behind the crowbar too. We get a little bit more firepower now.
Okay. So we'll say at this point, everyone's kind of finished whatever task that they were kind of searching or like patching up. Both, Leo and Reedy both patched up. Go ahead and roll like a D10 for each of you and like take that amount of health back for now. I don't know if there's like strict rules for that I could find.
The only thing I could find in the rule book was just the mention of the first aid kit. Otherwise, it's like super vague.
Yeah.
But I could have skipped past it.
So yeah, I'm good with
Leo,
just,
you are an excellent medic. Thank you for those 10 points.
you can take 10 points back onto your health. Oh dear. Menton takes one.
Nice.
It's easier to heal
Oh.
another person than yourself.
That's accurate, yeah.
Yeah, I was holding the mirror for you, but I got some tremors.
So all of you are back out in this cafeteria. This android's like, have you managed to find transportation for me yet? I am very eager to rejoin the human civilization out in space. That would be delightful. I certainly miss my family.
My short-range communications was taken out when I got hit in the chest by the android, and Menton will point to his destroyed as suit, and so he's going to say, we have to go to a different area and see if there's some sort of station-based communications channel that we can hijack and use. So you'll have to hang out here just a little bit longer if that's okay.
I could come with you. I would very much appreciate the company. Could I come with you, please? Please, can I come with you?
I mean, I don't see a problem with it. What do y'all think?
Menton shrugs.
Okay.
When you have a head wound like that, it's best if you stay in one place. And if we get into another altercation, that would be bad.
That's kind of a good point. Let's see if you can stand up here, and if you can stand up without swaying, we'll see if you can come with us, because things might get hairy.
I understand. I will try. I certainly would not want it to get hairy. And you see that they basically put one arm on one side of their torso that's got that stringy kind of like fettuccine like Alfredo like sticking out of the torso, the other on the other side, and it just pushes itself up and it begins to walk towards you on its hands, dragging the remnants of its legs behind it. Ah, you're right. I do feel a little wobbly in my movements here. Perhaps you are correct. Perhaps I need to rest. Whew. Yes, head wounds. They are such a bitch. Ha 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 ha.
I think you're right there. I think that sounds like a great idea that you had. I think you should probably just keep hanging out here and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yes. Could I bum a smoke off one of you?
I don't partake.
Yeah, in the Corps they told us we can't smoke on, the all oxygen environment and all that.
Ah, I see. Yes. They're going to kill me one of these days. It is a bad habit.
I agree. Well, we better get going so we can hurry up and find something.
I will wait here. Yes. I will keep watch. Good luck.
Perfect.
And be careful, my new friends.
You too,
Nice to-
Steven.
Nice to meet you, Steven.
And yeah, you guys leave the cafeteria. And
He could become our new mascot, guys.
I wonder if it's the first of many or
So how many of them do you think, look human?
I don't even know what that. I mean, maybe that was a ghost. No, maybe the other one was too.
It's either a ghost or Helix is correct and their logic processor is just faulty. They don't know what they're just mixed up in what they know.
I mean, or that's the plan, is to infiltrate mankind. Y'all got your pebbles on you, right?
Of course.
All right.
Pebbles, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about
I
either.
sewed yours into your jacket and your overalls. Don't worry about it. It'll protect you.
Is that what this lump in my boot is?
I don't know what you're talking about. And I feel like you fucking were.
Okay. So right outside the cafeteria, there's two meeting rooms, like in this hallway. There's meeting room A and there's meeting room B. Both of them look to be in similar states, like the doors, they're basic doors, similar states of disrepair. But they both are, you can tell they have vertical blinds kind of covering this small little sliver of glass, so you can't quite see inside. Is there a preference?
I like A for Ashley
Why not A for Abby?
and Abby.
I'm
I'm
Who is
thinking like
this
Ashley.
Okay. So yeah, you push open
Let's
the
go
door. Yeah, to meeting room A. And you can see that, like, the first thing you notice is, like, your feet kind of land on a surprisingly plush carpeting. Like, it's dingy as all can be, but it's doesn't have that kind of hardened, reception area carpet as you put it down. So that's the first thing that notices. And you also see that there's like a bunch of these scattered, like fairly luxurious, like office chairs. There is a fairly large, like executive meeting table, as you can tell, like, lacquered here and there. However, it was very, very nice, with the exception of carved in very large and crude letters into the top of it. It says "fuck off," and it's flipped kind of towards the door, so you see it's like you're reading that right as you walk in. And you look around and you can see that there's like these weird kind of sketches that have been kind of drawn around on the walls and like chalk, but they don't I don't know, they're kind of indiscernible. It just looks like these weird lines that have been drawing left and right. What do you guys want to do in here? Oh, and you also notice that there is there's a backpack that's sitting in one of these chairs that have been scattered about. It's got covered in patches, much like your own.
Sorry, what was that?
There's a backpack that is sitting in one of these chairs as well.
I heard Batleth. I thought we were going Klingon for a second.
Liko's going to look at the writing on the table and is just going to say, like, wow, someone finally wrote what everyone around this table was thinking all along.
Would anyone even take these instructions seriously? Would they really open the door and be like, oh, okay, I guess I'll leave now, and then close the door?
I mean, I'm kind of tempted. I think we should probably go.
You have a submachine gun. You don't get to run away anymore.
Well, if I remember correctly, I was the one who did not run away.
I'm a doctor, not a punching bag.
Damn it, Jim.
Liko will walk over to the backpack.
Okay, yeah. You open it up, and you can see that there are what looks like 6 expended stim packs. Like you can tell something's wrong with them. Like they're not like the seal's been broken on them, and you're not sure they'd be very useful. Looks like there's some shotgun shells, about a dozen shotgun shells, and there's a flashlight inside.
Liko is going to flash the flashlight and make sure that the batteries are actually still working.
It does seem to work just fine. Very bright.
All right. Well, dual purpose. We can find our way and we can hit somebody on the head if we need to. And nobody has a shotgun, right?
No.
Not yet.
All right.
What else do you want to do?
There's another conference room. There's also a security checkpoint manned by an android. That's the only way forward when we found out.
Weren't there
I
some
mean, I can keep saying this, but I think sometimes you need to go backwards to go forwards. I'd like to even the score with that fellow we found.
maybe closer when our 24 hours is near to being filled up, you think?
I mean, I don't like to put off for tomorrow what we could do today, you know?
You really want that crowbar back, don't you?
I mean, I paid a lot of money for that crowbar, and it was the last bit of my my final paycheck from my dishonorable discharge.
I mean, now you do have a gun.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love guns. I love guns. They go pow pow pow. But you know, a crowbar, it's just got that nice, satisfying crunch. You know.
I don't.
Liko's going to throw the backpack on, so
Mhm.
now having a backpack is useful as well. And Liko will be like, "Fine, Reed. What do you need? We're just going to use the gun. We're going to use the grenade. What you thinking?"
I like a two-prong approach. You know, we open the door, we toss in a grenade, we follow up with a gun after we, clear the room.
So, are all of you in the meeting room right now?
Yeah.
I would be, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, those of you that are inside the meeting room, you actually hear the sounds of first gunfire in the distance, kind of echoing throughout. And then you hear the sounds of like multiple like footsteps and sort of voices like this, like muffled a bit as well, coming from outside. Just noticed I screwed something up. Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, you hear sounds of gunfire and then like with multiple footsteps kind of moving around outside.
I will definitely poke my head out the door with my submachine gun to follow up.
Weapon out at the ready as well.
Are you peeking out, or are you stepping out into the hallway, Rita? Are you doing
I would be slicing the pie, Yeah, I
Okay.
kick open the door and staying behind the threshold, I just like slowly increase my field of view.
Yeah, you notice that you notice the sounds of the footsteps. Not even the footsteps, are like, it's more like jogging and moving as you being a Marine, recognize what looks like sort of soldier sweeping movement as you see a group of, you counted up, 5 individuals, each of which are kind of dressed in this kind of black and red gear. You can see they have like these sort of shiny black helmets, these kind of red visors. Some of them, they're heavily armed. Some of them with what looks like shotguns, pulse rifles, etc. And they're kind of like sweeping, checking corners, and they're kind of moving about as well, like they're looking and looking and looking. What do you want to do?
Looks like we got some security detail moving through. They might be headed our way. They're doing some sort of patrol.
Are they human or are they android?
They all kind of look the same to me. I think they're human droid.
Can I use my what's it called? Oh yeah, my bioscanner to see if I get any life signs while they're near us?
Yeah. I do want to look into that some more, that item, but we'll say they can scan. Blocked by most known minerals, can tell the location of signs of life, but not what that life is. Yeah, you do get life signs, yeah.
Okay, that bodes well. I don't think synthetics make this go off.
Well, I mean, there's one easy way to check. Does Helix pop up on your thing?
I don't think it works like that.
Oh, okay. I'm picturing like the Alien movie, like if you're holding it in a direction, or the game.
Yeah, the movie.
That's a
Definitely.
motion sensor.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But what if it was a motion sensor that only worked with humans?
Abby's gonna try and hide in this room.
How would that science even work? Oh, goodness.
Okay. I'm the big picture guy, Jeff. I don't know the details.
I still don't understand, like, how could you discern that kind of movement? It's impressive. Abby's hiding. What are the rest of you doing? They are extraordinarily heavily armed, and I would also say that you guys know that there is a fleet of these Marines and stuff, these mercenaries that are blockading here and there. And you did hear at some point, I can't remember who someone might have, I think someone might have told you that, like, they sweep sometimes and stay out of their way. So they do look different than the androids that you've come into. They're not wearing the same kind of cloud bank uniforms. They're all kind of this black and red, and they look like serious business as they're just sweeping through the corridor itself, kind of taking up, like they know what they're doing. So it's kind of.
I would probably, if it seems like they're going to head our direction, I would close the door again as quietly as possible and lock it if I can.
Okay.
Anything to discourage them from checking in while we wait it out.
Okay.
I'll be hide behind the meeting table if possible then.
Okay. Helix, Abby are hiding. Liko, Leo, Reed, do you make any attempts to hide?
Yeah,
I'll
so
try
I
and
want to.
help lock the door.
Yeah, I want to try to get behind the door because I'm imagining because I think you said there's a little glass strip next to the door.
Yeah, there's like these vertical blinds that kind of have been
Yeah.
turned in such a way as to not allow vision
Yeah,
inside.
so I want to be behind the door so that even if you kind of look in that, you're not going to be able to see me.
Okay, well, I mean, like, it's from the inside. Like, the blinds are on the inside, Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just angling myself because you can only see so much. Like if you're looking through the glass, if I'm on
Okay.
this side close to it, you can't see it.
I hate this kind of granularity. You know that. Come on. Just say you're hiding. You're hiding.
Yes.
Okay, you're hiding. All right.
I want to hide behind Liko, but like just to the point, like,
I hate you people so
you know, if she's facing 12 o'clock, I want to be exactly 6:30. You know, just a bit off to the side.
one of your EMP grenades goes off and rips a hole in your stomach, and your guts fall out. You're dead.
I deserve it.
Okay. You do see, or you do hear them kind of closing in, and someone's like, sweep this, and like you do feel a hand come down, try to open the door, and you can see it shake, and like you can kind of overhear like bust it down. So you have like a moment, Liko, to react since you're standing up. There's just normal doors. These are not airlock doors. These are...
Yeah.
Okay.
Weapon at the ready.
Do I feel like my bullets might pierce the door? Like, is it that shitty plywood?
I don't want to fight these people, to be fair.
No, I don't either. But
we're
if
not
they're going to
trying
bust the door down and they're going
Hide.
to come in, I
That
want
doesn't mean that they're
Right.
necessarily hostile, though. I think that if they kick the door down and see a bunch of humans with their hands up, as opposed to holding a bunch of weapons, there'd be a different, like...
I mean, that makes sense. I'm not saying that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. You were
So
told
Dr.
to
Menton-
stay out of their way. Like you were told to stay out of their way.
Well, yeah.
Also,
we are.
Liko,
Yeah.
what weapon are you having at the ready for when this heavily armed squad of mercs and marines kicks down the door? What is it? A crowbar that you have? What is it? You have?
We have a vibe shetty.
If it's ready, you have that ready. Okay, so like when the dudes with the combat shotguns bust the door down, I just wanted to make sure I knew what that was. Okay. All
I
right.
think I could take one of them, guys. If you guys could get the rest.
We're trying to hide.
I will have my hands up, but I will have the like doctor's bag with the red cross on it right at my feet with the cross facing the door so they don't shoot me because I'm medical personnel.
Okay.
Oh no.
You hear the first smash go off on the door as they're trying, and it is unsuccessful. In your minds, you think back to the captain that says, stay out of their way. As the second smash comes in, the voice gets louder, stay out of their way. The third smash comes in, the door opens up,
Liko
you
will not have her weapon out.
and you
between
see...
the first and third smash.
And you see standing in the doorway is a man or an individual that has a shotgun in their hands. Another person who was like smashing it kind of steps off to the side as they get inside. Who do they see when they open it? When they open the door?
I wasn't hiding, to be fair.
Okay.
I don't know if Menton was either. I don't want to go down alone, Leo.
I don't know how big the table is, so I just assumed it was full. So he's just like hands up.
It's a
out of the
conference
way.
table.
Yeah, you could have
well.
hid with us.
I didn't say it before. I just said that I was standing out of the way with my hands up. So
Okay. All right. So who do they see? Liko, is it just you that they see when they bust the door down? Or is it Reed? Do they see you? Who do they see? I know Helix and Abby are hiding.
I would be near the door with Liko, probably. But
Okay.
Liko said she was hiding, so I don't know if they'd see her.
Okay. Reed, you can see the door opens up. Man stands in the middle of the doorway, shotgun in hand, contact, and then pulls the trigger on his combat shotgun at Reed.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, that was not meant to be private. Let me get that public. Let's try it again. Apparently, my rolls are not working. Let me try this again.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Still not working.
There's
Okay, I
nowhere
think we're
for
going to
us
have like
to-
50 shots come through in a second here.
Right? They're all going to come up all at once.
All right, let me get it out again.
So Helix is under the table. Abby's under the table. Dr. Menton is doing the...
You're behind the door, Liko, I'm going to say. Menton's off into the corner, like medical bag up, covering his face. And this one is... I don't know why it's not working. Let me try this again. All right. I don't know why stuff's not rolling, so I'm just going to do a regular D100 roll. 54 under 65 is a success.
Oh, no.
This is
It's been fun, y'all.
2d10. Let's see. Okay, so it's right up next to you. So you're right
Sweetie
inside
10,
the door.
You might be dead.
Actually, it's going to be even worse than that.
But you got healed 10, right?
So he's at 17.
I did. I'm at 17.
Against a shotgun.
You take
Thanks, Tombstone.
you
for
take
the
a
100.
wound. I don't even roll damage. You just take a wound.
Oh, because of the.
Because he's not far away, because you guys are relatively close. Take a wound,
Right.
and then for the first time, we get to roll on our wound table. So if you go into the roll table
Gotta
section
set up
there,
for
Reed,
this.
there is a wound table. This is specifically a gunshot / blunt force.
Oh gosh.
I got shot in the neck.
Oh no.
And so the shot goes off. You see an explosion of viscera just like come out of his neck, and blood splatters down on top of the "fuck you" sign, right on top of, and there's like land splat. Reed, you go falling to the ground. Menton, roll a D100 and say high or low first.
Okay. Hi. Ooh.
Okay. They shoot, they watch Reed fall, and then they close the door and you hear them yell, "Clear!" And then you hear the footsteps kind of moving past as Reed is bleeding to death on top of the conference room table.
There's a lot of gurgle and a bit of a red mist coming up as I try to take each breath.
So yeah, so you look down, all of you just see him like laying there on the conference table, blood pouring out. He's not dead yet, but he will be dead shortly if something isn't done.
Oh yeah. Abby's
Could I-
immediately gonna run towards him to compress while she yells at Dr. Menton. Or she doesn't yell because she's still scared, but she's like looking at him like, what the fuck?
Am I able to do like shitty like surgery where I just like stuff some of the socks that I've stole into the wound to like help it clog?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a field medicine test to see if you can try to stem the bleeding enough to keep him alive.
Would it be
Can
better
I
to do
assist
field
at all?
medicine or surgery?
Surgery, I think, requires actual like surgical
Equipment.
tools and an
Okay.
area. Field medicine, this is more of field medicine, like trauma, just trying to help him.
Yeah.
Abby, you want to assist him? Do you have
Yeah.
any? Do you have
I
training
have-
in medicine?
I have field medicine expert, so
Okay.
plus 15 bonus.
Okay. Go ahead and take take advantage on it then, Dr. Minton.
Okay.
As Reed is literally bleeding out on top of this conference, literally right on top of a conference table, laying on top of a bloody "fuck you" engraving.
That's just a
Which-
perfect visual.
Which one is it? The right number? If I'm at it? Oh no, it says right there
Whatever
at the
one's
top.
better. If it's advantage, whichever's better.
Oh man. Okay, well it failed.
No, with advantage you pass 12.
Yeah.
I thought you have to be below the target, right?
Your target
Yeah,
is
target
67.
67.
The
Yeah.
two you rolled were 74 and 12. So as long
Right.
as since it's advantage, all you needed was one of those to be under 67.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm like
I
in a
thought because it was in
coughing
the
fit here.
disadvantaged spot, it was off. Okay.
Yeah, your target was 52.
Jeff, you're choking
Plus your
because you
field
feel so
medicine.
bad about killing me right now, right?
Yeah,
I
he's,
don't. I
he's-
really
he's
couldn't have
voice acting.
telegraphed this any more than saying, "Hey, they're gonna fucking kill you. You might want to hide." Like, okay.
I wanted to shoot one. I'm sorry.
So you managed to. I mean, like if you want to pull say you pulled the trigger, I'm fine with you taking a shot, but that
No,
might mean they
no,
stick
it's fine.
around. So
It's the ammo at this point.
You've got the socks stuffed into his neck right now, so he is certainly not going to die in the next few minutes. But you're pretty confident that if he's not, if he doesn't get like kind of stitched up, and like you kind of really kind of get in there and make sure like nothing inside the neck itself, like any kind of anything that needs to be repaired, definitely is something that you would want to take care of as well. I need also everyone to roll a panic test. As you just saw Reed just get a shotgun blown running him, and all of you can also you can increase stress. Take 2 stress from the sight of this, and then roll panic.
Gosh. So I have a trauma response of once per session I can take advantage on a panic check.
Okay.
Wait.
Which
Where
one's
is panic? I was gonna say I see fear.
Roll
and
stress.
sanity.
Just roll stress.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Want us to gain the stress first and then roll, or?
Yeah, take the stress and then roll panic.
Apparently, I'm in my element. I rolled a 20.
Oh, I failed.
You start to panic a bit. Gain another stress as you get very anxious at the sight of this just wholesale, like this guy with his sort of black and red visor, kicks the door down, shoots Reed, takes a moment, looks, doesn't actually see anyone, doesn't do a particularly good job of corners, and then closes the door and leaves. And Reed is bleeding out. You're feeling it. It's starting to you're starting to feel something like rise up in your programming, and you feel a bit of panic.
We need to find a medical bay right now. This is not going to hold him for long. I don't know if you're all aware, but there are 2 big tubes that go into your neck that carry a lot of blood, and he had shotgun pellets scattered throughout there.
Well,
You big dumb meathead. What are you just standing at the door for?
I gurgle in response.
Abby doesn't let you. She's still holding compression to your neck. She's got one over your mouth.
You just see fear in my eyes.
Yeah, you don't think he's gonna die like immediately, but he definitely needs to get looked at. He's got the wound. He's so you've taken a wound, so make sure you take that off. And he's certainly looked better.
Is there
Are there any
those
terminals
maps
in here?
on the door?
Not in here. I'm sorry, Ashley. What was your question? There's no you don't see any terminals in here.
You know how there's the emergency maps on doors and stuff in offices and whatnot? Is there anything like that?
No, you did not see something like that. No. If you're looking around, though, you've the only thing you really find in here scattered about, other than what you've already found, you do find some kind of recording device. It looks like likely somebody used in sort of this kind of setting, recording meetings and things like that. But when you kind of mess around with the playing of it, it just sounds like just murmuring, like this sort of strange murmur, almost like it's like recording someone sleeping, something like that. So, what do you all want to do?
I'll poke my head out of the doorway to see if this team has moved on away from us and we can travel in the opposite direction that they're going.
Yeah, you do not. As you poke your head out, you look down the corridor. You do the pizza slice open, as Steven said, and you don't notice them anymore, as it seems they've trailed off.
I'm going to try and look for some kind of directory or something that gives us an ability to know where we are and what other, if there's any kind of med facility on this level.
You do know that there was a broken terminal in the reception area that might be, fixable. That's the only real terminal you saw. That's all you've seen so far in terms of something that could give you access to the systems.
and that's behind
crowbar.
that's behind the airlock door with the crowbar stuffed in it, with the android banging on the other side.
So Menton will poke his head back in and say, Helix, that terminal that we saw in the lobby, do you think you might be able to fix that and help us find some sort of medical facility on this level?
Yes, I can certainly fix that. But our friend here, how long does he have?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I've never seen a wound like this. I'm surprised he's still standing right now, or breathing, or I'm surprised I don't know how he's made it. Like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. Are there any radio flyers nearby that we could throw him in?
Radio flyers?
Little red cards.
No.
Yeah.
He's got time. It's like he's got several. You think he's got hours? Like really, it's if it didn't kill him immediately, and you were able to because you were able to get to him super fast, he's not going to bleed out. You stem that bleeding, but he's not really going to be able to talk very well. He's going to gurgle a lot until this thing gets stitched up, basically.
All right. So then, Dr. Menton will just support his weight so he doesn't have to so he can walk better, and then I'll just keep handing him socks whenever they get too blood soaked.
One of them he'll look at and you can see the flicker of recognition. This is my sock.
It's got his name stitched on it. It says Reed on the back.
Reed, U.S. Marine Corps Corporal.
Liko wants to go back out and see if they're still banging on the door from the android on that airlock door.
Yeah, you go back down the corridor to where that T section was. You look down. You can see that the crowbar is no longer within the actual wheel itself. You can see that the crowbar is nowhere to be found, and you see that the door itself seems to be closed.
You see, Jeff, I'm more upset about that than you shooting me.
I
in the
know
neck.
you are. I know you are too. You left it behind.
Can I see if they took out that security android?
Do you want to go into the reception area?
No, not the reception area, but the way forward where that.
Oh, the cafeteria?
Android, remember that airlock with the android in front of it?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
The one with the turret, the defense point.
The turret one, yeah.
Yeah, so you go back in. So that means you go through the cafeteria. You go back through the cafeteria, and you can see laying on the ground your friend Steven is just literally ripped to shreds. You could tell that like bullets were just completely, like it's just completely destroyed, and he's laying on the ground. You can see the face is kind of like looking up far off in the distance. Still got that wound in the forehead, but has suffered probably a dozen more shots. You open the door. You kind of move down the corridor towards where that airlocked security checkpoint is, where there was the swiveling of the machine gun behind the bulletproof the bullet kind of encasing, and it doesn't look as though they came that way. So it's still intact.
I say. Then I'll just suggest we head forward instead of going back. If it's on this floor, we can find it.
Right.
Near the conference room, didn't you say there were some offices, like 3?
There were 2 meeting rooms. You went into one.
Uh-huh.
There was the cafeteria. You're at a T intersection.
Okay.
There are the 2 meeting rooms here, and then if you kept going, you go into the cafeteria. The way that they went was kind of off the kind of the other side of the T section and kind of around the bend. So you're not sure where that goes, but that's where they went. And then the stem of the T goes back towards reception.
Got it. Okay.
But no, you do know that like there was a sign saying offices, but that is kind of pointing down the corridor that has that security checkpoint.
Got it. Okay.
Liko wants to check the other meeting room before we leave.
Yeah, you peek inside. Fairly kind of utilitarian looking room. Like everything looks like plush and cushy the way the other one was. And there's like this smashed plastic table. You see that there's like torn books that are strewn like everywhere. Most of them look to be, as you're peeking, like corporate binders and corp speak and stuff like that. And to the point where like you see piles of them, and there's like other things inside of them. It would take you some time, but you could potentially kind of sift through to see if there's anything useful in there.
Since the whole bleeding out of the neck thing seems a little bit time sensitive.
Again, I want to stress he's not dead.
Hours.
He's not going to die. Like you were there to like you've got hours. Like he's not in like immediate death range. That
Didn't
was
hit
like
the jugular.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that he's gonna talk like Rebecca Nurse for a little while until he can stitch it up and heal, and probably doesn't want to get shot in the neck again because it'd make it worse.
Then until everybody else figures out what they're doing, Liko's just going to sit down and start looking through this stuff.
Okay. Helix, you are in the corridor with the security, that security checkpoint. You see the gun kind of swivel back, and you see this android, similar to the one that you all encountered near reception down the concrete stair, turns towards you and says, "Please disarm your weapons. Leave them on the floor before proceeding."
Is this android armed?
It's got a big ass machine gun inside of like this. It's like a bulletproof
this is the one with the turret,
silo. Yeah, it's like a little silo checkpoint thing, and it didn't immediately fire. It just told him to disarm.
I'll walk forward because I don't have any weapons.
Okay, you don't have any
Make
weapons.
sure I
on you?
don't. Yeah, make sure I drop if I do.
Okay. Yeah. So like anything that could be anything that's an obvious. I think you have a stun. Did you have a stun baton?
Yeah, I do have a stun baton.
Okay.
If that's considered a weapon, then I can drop it.
I think a stun baton is a weapon. Yes.
Okay.
It shocks people and stuns them. Okay. So you just drop it on the ground.
Yeah, just to see if it.
Okay. So you drop it on the ground and you hear, "You may proceed." You move forward, open up the airlock door, and yeah, you're free to move forward if you like.
Let the others know you can go without weapons or possibly disable it for a sec. We did find EMP grenades.
Liko's reading books, so she's not in earshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're in a different. You're well away. Where's everybody else? Where's Abby? Where's Reed? Where's Menton? Are you back? Like,
I'm sticking next to Menton wherever he went, wherever he carried me to.
Yeah, and Menton was just following Helix so that we can just try and get a better lay of the land.
So at the end of the corridor, you watch like as he like almost like the test subject makes it through. The gate to get through towards the airlock is deactivated momentarily, and he gets through. And then the gate is reactivated. Gun kind of turns back in your direction, and like this sort of loud, kind of angry voice demanding, "Hand over weapons before proceeding."
Does it look like it's using a scanner or some kind, or is it just relying on what it can see?
It's one of those androids that has no eyes. Like you can tell, like there's no real working eyes. There's like sockets. Like it's more like a mannequin face. There's nothing. You're not sure actually how it's determined.
You said last time there was a weapon scanner of some sort, right?
Yeah, on the sides of the walls, you can definitely see that there are metal. There's like these weapon detectors. They do look damaged. You're not sure how damaged they are, but they do look like this room has suffered fighting. Like you can see there's bullet holes, there's explosive residue, and like the weapons, like metal detectors and stuff like that, they appear damaged. How damaged? You don't know.
I would like to try and stand on my own a little bit here if I can.
Sure.
And I'll pull out my scalpel and I'll show it to Menton, and I'll just kind of toss it, trying to toss it through the weapon scanner to see what happens.
Okay. Okay. You as it kind of tosses through, you can see like one of the lights above one of the metal detectors kind of flickers on in this very like kind of a very weak fashion. I mean, it kind of you hear like this sort of glitching of the circuitry inside of it before shutting back down. Like you can tell that it wanted to activate it, but you're not sure if it like it's trying to like it sensed something, but it didn't kind of send like a full alarm.
Well, what do you think?
I'd rather not gamble with my life, but I don't want to be without a weapon.
I'm with Liko because I don't want her alone.
Okay, thank you.
I guess Menton will just take his tranq pistol and the EMP grenade and set them. Are there lockers or like cubbies to put them in or something?
Yeah, there probably were at one point, but it suffered so much damage in here, like nothing really seems particularly like well put together. But there are like what looks like basic storage cabinet shelves that have been kind of blown to bits, but you can stack them there.
Yeah, he'll do that, just hoping that they'll remain there when he comes back.
Sure. Yeah. You do notice as you go to set it up on the shelf, there is like this plastic toy that's kind of sitting there, and it's on this this kind of like little stem stand, and it's tilted a little bit off on its axis, and it sort of looks familiar. It kind of looks a little bit like, as you kind of peek at it as you're setting your tranq gun there, it looks like the Deep itself. It almost looks like a toy model of the space station.
I'll grab it.
Okay. Yeah, it's plastic too. You can tell just picking it up. All right. So you set your weapons there, and do you step forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see the gun kind of tracks you as you move. And then as you make through the metal detector, like nothing goes off. The gate, you step through that kind of security gate, and then It'll activate as you open up the airlock door and you step through, and you can see Helix waiting for you. Reed, do you do the same?
Maybe I'll just take a breather out here.
Okay.
Y'all can come back and get me.
Okay.
And I'll
Sounds
just
good.
kind of like lean against the wall and then just slide down.
Okay. Meanwhile, back in meeting room B, Liko, you've been going through these things. Abby, you've been giving a hand. These stacks of papers, and you find actually something fairly interesting, both of you, when you are systematically moving things about. It looks very cumbersome. Like, it looks very heavy and kind of awkward, but you can tell it's a terminal device of some kind. It's certainly movable, like you can tell, but the design of it looks like state of the art. It looks like there's you're not entirely sure how it functions, but it has like this extraordinarily elegant interface, but at the same time it looks like it's been detached from somewhere and someone moved it here. This is what someone might characterize as an artifact, one of these like fancy bits of special research and development tech. But as you're looking at it, you do notice that it is strapped to an EMP mine.
Oh. So, Abby,
It's
I think
sitting
this-
right on top of it.
I think this could fetch us some funds here. But
Oh.
it's got a trap.
I don't know. Could we disarm it?
Certainly try.
Do you have skills for something like that?
I mean, I have industrial equipment skills,
Me too.
so maybe not quite this.
I also have jury rigging, which I don't know if that would. Obviously, it's not a.
No,
explosive
jury
skill,
rigging,
but
I'd be fine with
it's-
it.
Does it look like a pressure plate thing?
It definitely looks
Thing
like
on?
it's sort of, yeah, like you could find a way to sort of move off of it and try to replace the weight. This thing is quite heavy. Like, you can tell just looking at it, it's going to be a haul for someone to carry that around regularly. But a jury rig device is a perfectly fine, like a jury rig roll is a perfectly fine way to try to disarm this from going off. Like, you don't think, like, it's like you have, some of you have like electronic equipment on you. You're not sure the radius of this thing. You're not sure what damage this might do to the terminal if it were to explode.
Yeah.
There was a comment in chat about like, you guys are both human, but like the equipment isn't. So if this goes off, it might actually.
Yeah, it's the
you're not sure.
computer I care about.
Yeah. So like you can roll a jury rig to try to disarm if you want. If you're
Okay.
both, do you both have the skill?
I don't have jury rig, no. I just have field medicine, industrial equipment, 0G, and zoology.
Okay. So yeah, you can just roll.
But
if you
I
wanna roll,
do have the rat statue, the mouse statue.
I know. I wrote that down. Go ahead and roll jury rig. We do have I think we have
We do.
audience rolls left. So if you want to use
Yeah,
that, go for it.
I would use one.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you, generous chat. We were back up, I think, to 5. So thank you much, everyone, for that. All right. Jury rigging advantage.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Very good
All
roll.
right.
Yeah, you do manage to, you can kind of get down on the side and can take out a few tools and stuff. Remove a bit of there's like a panel along the outside of this mine. You're going to get right in and sort of deactivate sort of the pressure sensor so that you can easily take this off without this activating. And yeah, you can go ahead and put a cumbersome terminal in one of your inventories. And it is cumbersome. So just remember that this is a fairly heavy and kind of awkward to carry. It's you have a backpack, but I don't think your backpack. I'll say you can put it in the backpack, but at the same time, it's really
It's not
filling
closed.
that.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
really filling
remember
that
like
backpack up. Yeah.
freshmen with like how full their
Yes.
backpacks would be?
Your shoulder's going to be out of sight soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is okay.
All
And
right.
this is going to be something like she is going to be talking your ear off the whole time. Like it almost seems like she's not focusing, but that's what she does is she just talks and talks like while she's fiddling with all of this.
Oh, like
This is what she does in stressful situations.
gotcha. You're doing
All right.
great.
Up
I
ahead.
believe in you.
Up ahead, Helix, Minton, you've both made it through this security checkpoint. You see another, set of these concrete stairs that you saw over by reception, working your way down. You see this long corridor. Again, signs of damage, fighting here and there. You see, like there's, like on the walls, like lining the hallway as you go down. You can see there's various bits of like graffiti, and you can see like there's like an upside down crown with some sort of charcoal or graphite sketching here and there with a big circle around it and a line through it like it's a no smoking sign. It looks like there's some bullet holes here and there and some scrapes. But you do see that on your left, just after you get down these concrete stairs, there is another one of these doors that looks to. It's got like one of those sort of plastic signs next to it that says offices. Looking down the sort of dark, flickering corridor, at the far end, you think you see like a little light over top of what appear to be lift doors, like elevator doors. But a little bit before that, you do see there's another turn off that kind of like moves, like there's a corridor that intersects as well. So you got the door on your left, long way down, lift elevator doors. In between those two, there's a right-hand turn. It's Helix and Minton.
You're muted, Derek.
It was just the hallway that was poorly lit.
Yeah, like everything. Like there's enough light, but it kind of flickers in and out. It's like backlit here and there. So like you can. It's not. You're not having trouble seeing. It's just it comes and goes.
Do a little recon on the floor. The door right next to us.
Yeah, you go in and you or no, you don't. You just do recon. Do you like open it up? Do you listen in? Like.
Oh yeah, I'll listen in if you see if I hear anything first before going in.
Yeah, you kind of put your ear next to it. You're kind of listening. You hear what sounds. You hear some movement on the other side. You also smell smoke. Actually,
Could be others on the other side.
The whole place looks like a war zone. I'm not sure I like being in here without a weapon, but I didn't feel like looking like Reed back there. Okay, so the offices are where the smoke smell is coming from?
exactly.
Okay, I'll scout the hallway that turned to the right.
Okay.
Or branched off.
You move up. You kind of look off to the right, and you see this long corridor. But at the very end of it, you see a familiar sight. You see the sign of that exploded other checkpoint. That checkpoint that was like in shambles, where you first encountered. You notice that between you and that place, there are doors on either side of the corridor. You don't notice that one security android that you were fighting with. You don't see them anywhere.
Well, it's just another hallway down this way with more doors. There's no security droid on this one, at least.
We should wait for the others before.
Yeah, you have like 3 doors, elevator, and then you can kind of go back as well.
Wait for the others before we go down the lift. Maybe we should check out what this door is.
Okay.
I'm willing to
wanna go
knock
back
on this smoke door even.
On the smoke door?
Yeah.
You knock on the smoke door, and as you're listening, like you hear the signs of like shuffling around on the inside. but no response.
Maybe I'll even shout out, we're scavengers. Any survivors?
Okay. You hear you hear a voice shout out, and it's kind of it's almost like lispy in a way, like the voice that kind of comes out like, "You all divers?"
First day.
Oh, got ourselves a bunch of greenies. All right, you come on in. Water's fine.
I'll open it up. Put a foot in.
Okay, where are you, Leo?
I would have, if I would have heard Helix knock on the door and then call out, I would come up right behind him to just stick together at least.
Okay, door opens up, and you can tell that, first of all, there's like red emergency light everywhere, and it's like illuminating everything. So everything's got this like drenched, it's imbued with red. You can see like there's the smell of burnt trash as the door opens, and there's like smoke filling the room, and you can see that there's like 40 plus cubicles that have been rearranged in various shapes to create these little ad hoc shelters and like these lean-tos here and there. There's like a small smoldering campfire like towards the center. Helix, what do you look like?
Well, I look like an android. Asteroid toned
okay.
skin. Pretty symmetrical.
So you're an obvious looking android?
Mm.
Okay. You hear the sound of a and you look over, and there is this kind of older looking fella who's kind of perched behind one of these makeshift like shelter lean-tos. He's got a smart rifle leaning up on top of it, pointing in the direction of the door, and you hear the gun begin to power up. And as Leo steps in behind you, you hear a, "Are you? Is this one of yours there, fella?"
Sorry, what do you mean? Oh, I see. Yes, everyone seems to be very timid around. He's fine. He's completely friendly. He's probably more human than half the people on my team.
You brought yourself an android? And in this here place, are you out of your freaking mind, boy?
Well, no, because he brought himself. He has his own agency and can make his own decisions.
Well, I suppose that's fine. But I'm gonna keep old Shelly here nice and close just in case. You better keep an eye on him. Androids have a way of having some funny things happen to them here in the deep. Monarch kind of gets in their heads, you see.
Well, it seems like even people don't really last too well here either, so I think it's anything that's able to walk and talk comes out worse for wear.
Well, that's a fair point. That's a fair point indeed. All right.
May I offer you any assistance? Do you have any wounds? I'm a doctor. I can patch you up. Helix can stay right here if you prefer it to be that way. We don't want any trouble.
You any good with orthodontry? I got myself a toothache that is just absolutely excruciating.
Really all I could do is either rip it out or give you some sort of pain medication once I find it.
Oh, I thought you might have had some. Well, I was gonna rip it out myself, but, fellow with medical training might be even better, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's just a bone that hangs out in your mouth. It's the same thing, yep.
Wait, teeth or bones? That can't be right. Is that true?
It's not really that important. It's kind of, yeah, essentially.
Okay, well, if you can keep your android fella a wee bit away, I think we can do business.
Do you mind if he looks around in here for some supplies for our group while I tend to your injury?
Yeah, okay, but stay away from that one right there. That there's mine. Most of these are just kind of come and go as you please, and sometimes people come but they go and they don't come back, and so everything that you have on you, if you really need it, you should take it with you. That's first piece of advice for a new fellow like yourself. Don't leave stuff elsewhere, because if it's not with you, you ain't got no claim to it.
Yes, I'm hoping that my pistol I left in the other hallway is not going to be missing when I get back to it. But Dr. Menton will look to Helix and kind of give like a shaky like thumbs up and gesture to the room, and then he's going to look for some pliers.
Okay,
Good
so
enough
Helix
for meal.
Yeah, you start looking around. Leo, you start figuring out some way to pull this guy's tooth out. Let's cut back to when Liko and Abby, you got this big old terminal. What are you two doing?
Probably poke our heads out the wall at the door.
What door?
So because we've been in the conference room, so go back.
Yeah,
out the
you look
conference room
back
and look.
out, and you can tell there's in the corridor outside the meeting rooms. There's nothing there. Like you're in the clear.
All right. I'm assuming we see Reed just slumped against a wall.
No, he's a couple rooms away. You guys are in the meeting room. There's a cafeteria you have to go through. He went towards the city. You don't see anybody. It's just the two of you.
All right. Where should we go?
Thinking we can either go the way the Marines went and see what havoc they've caused in that direction, but that seems like the ill-advised choice, so sounds like we should go the way the rest of the group went.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid them myself.
I agree with that. So we'll go back through the cafeteria to the other
Okay.
door.
Yeah, you push through the cafeteria. You, as you're doing so, like you hear the door kind of shut behind you, and as it does so, you hear the static kind of come over the intercom. You hear that same chime come in. Static kind of plays a little bit longer underneath it. You hear that kind of corporate music continue to go, and then it kind of fades out by the time you get to the opposite side of the cafeteria. You push open the door, and you can see laying on the ground. You see Reed. He's got, he's a little pale, but he's there. He's alive. You can see that the checkpoint's in front of you. What would you like to do?
Liko's gonna kick the bottom of Reed's foot.
I'm awake.
So
Oh, yeah.
where'd they go? Are you okay? Why the fuck are you just sitting there?
They got that darn weapon scanner right over there, and I don't think it works. But I told Leo I'd watch his gun, and I point towards the locker.
Oh, okay. Is it just weapons or is it electronics?
I just don't know.
He's been calling out, like, put your weapons aside. And you threw the scalpel. You see the scalpel in the middle of, like, the floor. You saw it kind of glitch on, glitch off. They're damaged. It's just, how confident are you?
Yeah. Is he like, if we like spoke to him, would he? Abby's gonna try and talk to him. Excuse me, sir. Could you offer us some directions?
Weapons down before proceeding.
Okay, and Abby will put her weapon down and head up. Could you point us in the direction of a med bay?
As you step through the metal detectors, you've got no weapon on you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The gate goes down, and that's all he's saying.
Abby, could you grab my knife there for me?
She'll kick it back.
Okay. You kick it back. And
Because
again,
she's
there's
too chicken.
Not what I wanted, but that's fair.
I know what you wanted.
Gun.
I was right there ready for it. I was like, the gun swirls and suddenly Abby's in pieces. Oh, God.
No, thank you, sir.
Okay. But you have free access to the door if you want it.
And Abby just kind of stands there and looks back at Liko. Y'all coming or what's happening?
Liko's gonna look at Reed. You ready to move?
Yeah, I can move. Can you help me out?
Yep. And Liko's very tall, so she kind of has to crouch down to like hoist you up.
I really, really don't like the idea of leaving this gun here.
Don't you have an EMP?
Yeah, you think that would work?
Abby shrugs.
Is the gun turret swiveled back towards them then, since I'm on the other side?
Yes, that is correct.
Is there any like electronics panels nearby?
Nope. Looks like there's
No.
the gate, there's the swivel thing, there's like
Okay.
the security checkpoint, but no, if you're looking for again, the only terminal you've really seen is in the reception area.
That
Everything
one?
else has sort of
Okay.
been too damaged.
Liko's gonna drop her weapon.
Okay.
Looking through.
Yeah, if
other
you're really gonna make me risk my
things.
life twice.
You tell me what you want to do, buddy. We're just playing games. Just playing games here.
Reed will grab Liko's weapon, he'll grab Abby's weapon, he'll grab Leo's and Helix's stun baton. He's gonna grab it all.
And then what is he gonna do?
And then he's gonna wait for Liko and Abby to get out of the way.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit is right.
Okay. So Liko and Abby, do you go through the airlock door?
Yeah, I've already
Yeah.
gone through.
Okay.
We're on an express elevator to hell and we're going down.
You've got
And
everything.
when they're
on-
out of the way, I'm throwing an EMP grenade.
Oh, you're gonna throw their EMP grenade. Okay. All right. So they go through. You throw an EMP grenade. Roll a D100. Okay. So you
58.
throw the grenade. Are you trying to like loft it up and over and into the thing, or are you just kind of just getting it as close? It's bulletproof. It's not EMP proof.
Yeah, I figure I don't have too much energy to really go for the football arc. So I would just try to slide it over as best I can.
Okay. So roll 40-10. So you throw this thing out. What?
Sorry, I didn't
you-
mean to roll it twice.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You throw this thing out. You see that, like, it explodes. It cackles, and you watch like as the android behind the sort of the bulletproof glass. You can see that but you see that it doesn't shut down. You can see that the gun kind of swirls in your direction. Yeah, it's gonna fire at you actually.
Oh no.
God
D100.
damn it, no.
As Liko,
This
Abby
is my
on the
face. So
on
be
the
it.
other
Does it get disadvantaged because it's currently being
I'll do that.
addled?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. It's actually not enough to do. Yeah. Okay. Security Android. Yeah, I think that's a fair argument. So I'm
When
just
you're
gonna roll.
already bleeding from the neck.
Oh shit.
How bad could it be? How bad could it be?
It's a disadvantage.
We need a new Marine.
It's antimatter rifle.
So
Oh no!
My next Marine will
It's-
actually
it's
roll
kind
a
of-
weapon and armor.
it's kind of malfunctioning as it's trying to fire at you. But because it's a disadvantage, that 68 over 60 is a miss. Reed, what do you want to do? You're in
Is this the
one-on-one
type
combat.
of like hallway that I could get through it fairly quickly?
There is an airlock door on the other side. The airlock door, we're doing the whole like submarine spinny thing. That's what we're working with. The one behind you, going back to the cafeteria, is just a regular old door. Running away would not be difficult. Running through, carrying all this stuff, getting and trying to get the door open, I think you're going to take one more shot before you get out.
And this might be meta, and so if the answer is no, that's fine. But if Abby and I hear that explosion behind us,
No, that's fine. You want to open the door?
could we open the door? Yeah.
I don't think that's meta. I think you hear in game the sounds of gunfire. You open the door, and just in time to see a spray of bullets come across the opposite side where Reed is kind of carrying all your stuff. You can see that there's something wrong with the android. It's like, but it's not shut down, and it's firing at Reed. The door is open. So
Reed is shuffling towards him. He got shot in the neck, but he's moving as fast as he can. Let's do this.
okay, you're just gonna
if
run.
I die, I die. Yeah. Yeah.
You could use a dice to give you advantage if you need it.
Yeah, please. use
Yeah. Am I
it.
doing? What am I doing, Jeff? Tell me what I'm doing. Tell me how I'm dying.
I think a body save here to avoid damage as you're trying to get through. You can take a thing and do the advantage if you want.
Yeah. I
Actually, no.
definitely would like to-
No. Because this is a pure speed test. Let's just do speed. So like you're just trying to move as fast as you
35
can.
or 33. It's the same to me.
So roll speed if you want to take an audience dice for.
I would like to take a die for advantage.
But here's what I would like you to do before you roll, Reed.
Yeah.
Melissa and I were talking about a new rule with using audience purchase dice.
Oh,
So,
that's right. I forgot.
Everyone can use them, totally fine. But when you use them, you have to either describe like some sort of special extra effort and how it manifests, or like what's going through your character's head that like something like that sort of justifies its use. Like, is there a memory of Reed like running through a battlefield that's helping him get through this? Is there, something like that?
Yeah. There's a couple things going on. Reed is very lightheaded right now. And when you're tired and you're driving and you think you're gauging the distance and you're actually pretty far off.
Yeah.
Reed is thinking like the hallway's not too far. I can get that. It's not that bad. And his tank top, I'm sure, is just soaked with blood at this point anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna be already off in his estimation of how far he can go. But then he's gonna like slip and stumble, and he's gonna be so covered in blood that he'll actually slide along the metal grate towards the door.
I love it. Roll your speed check advantage.
He's singing "I Can Go the Distance" like Hercules.
No, it was so close.
So close.
You slip slide towards the door. The gun struggling to turn as you move past it to get a shot off at you. Again, at disadvantage. As you're right at the door, Liko, Abby, you're at the door. Is there anything that you two want to do before this fire goes, like this shot goes off?
Could I grab him and
Yeah,
pull him
exactly.
in while
Like,
she
arms
slams
out.
the door shut?
Okay, I'll say let's do a strength test. And one of you can help the other, I guess, and just do advantage is fine. If
I've
you
got
pass,
41 strength.
Okay, I have 26.
so the both of you reach out, Liko, and if you pass on this, you can roll advantage. If you pass on this, I'll say you pull him through before the bullets fly in his direction.
I'm rolling.
I can't look.
31 under 41.
Success on both.
And a 4.
And a 4 under 41.
Reed, you hear the sounds of the machine gun kind of turning around again. You hear what's the weapons and then the gun starts firing. You hear the ting, 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 ting as the bullets hit the grates right behind where your feet are. And you come to a stop, and you realize the bullets are getting closer, and then you feel the hands of Liko just like grab you right on your shoulder, right underneath your armpit, and just drag you in. You look back, you see like the sparks of the bullet on the floor panels that you were just on, your blood kind of trailing a bit from the drippings of your neck. Abby, you managed to slam the door right in time as the bullet you hear on the other side, ting, 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 as they continue to kind of go up on the inside of the door. And Reed, you have made it through alive with all your weapons too.
Oh
What a
my
hero.
lord.
Guys, that was
I
awesome.
grab Liko's head with my bloody hands and I pull it close and I just give her a giant kiss on the forehead.
And you're so bloody. I'm just like, oh God.
Just soaked in blood. My sock is falling off, but like it's kind of dried a little bit so it won't come all the way off.
Chuck's back. Thank you, Defenders, for the raid. Earlier, we had Diesel Shot rating. Thank you as well. I was this close to killing Steven. I was this close to killing. I actually did kill a Steven tonight, just an NPC Steven. Okay, so you're
Wow.
through.
We are through. Weapons intact.
So you
That was a
move
bad
down the
idea.
hall. You kind of move down the staircase. You see the door on the left that kind of goes into where the offices were. You see everything you saw that I was describing before for Menton and Helix.
Abby would probably look around for the doctor.
Okay. You peek in, and you can see Dr. Menton in this makeshift cubicle with this kind of scraggly old-looking man. His hair kind of pulled back, kind of Willie Nelson style. He's got this long, kind of ugly braid. He's got this white, like white fuzz, and he's leaning back in this office chair with his mouth open, and Leo is just kind of like shining a flashlight inside. And Leo, what you see is a dude who's missing almost all of his teeth. He's got like 4 left, and one of them just looks rotten to all hell. And he's like, "Yeah, Doc, it's this one right here. Oh man, this one's giving me quite the pain."
Yep. I've never seen a tooth quite that green before, but I'm certain we can get it out, no problem. I'm gonna look for. Is there alcohol here? Because you're probably gonna need it.
Oh, and matter of fact, I do have a bit of the isopropyl. Let me get through this. I was down on the factory and I managed to get. Here we go. And he kind of holds up this like grimy bottle of what looks like rubbing alcohol, and you can tell there's all these like dark fingerprints on it, like somebody like picked it up after like they had like grease or something on their hands, and it's just covered. It's the dirtiest thing. And the top, like there's no top to it. Instead, it just looks like some little piece of like tinfoil kind of covering it up. You peel it back, you take a whiff, and then it's rubbing alcohol, but it ain't actual alcohol.
Okay.
I've been taking a few nips of that every so often, just to keep my whistle wet.
It hasn't killed you, but let me just say, that's not the kind of alcohol that'll make you go blind, if not outright melt your liver. But we're gonna use it to clean the wound once I get the tooth out. Do I hear people coming in behind me while I'm talking?
And you look over. Helix he's moving around, exploring. The door opens up, and there you see Abby and Liko and Reed stumbling in.
Without any hesitation, Menton's going to look at Liko and he's going to say, he's going to need your stress ball real bad here. Can you just throw that up to him?
Oh, these are more of your diving crew. Oh, that's swell.
Yeah.
I used to have a diving crew, but there ain't no more of them. They've suffered a significant amount of trauma, and I'm last one left, I think. Might be a few of them lingering around here or there. You can get separated from time to time. Things just have a tendency of getting lost on you,
Yeah, one of us has already taken a shotgun to the throat, so I think we're settling in quite nicely here.
Did you now? Well, that sounds troubling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nico's gonna take out the stress ball and give it a couple squeezes and just kind of toss it at the guy. Here you go there. Didn't catch your name.
Oh, my name's Nellie.
Nellie, do you happen to know where maybe like a med bay would be located?
Well, that's an interesting question. Now, are you talking about like for humans? Is that you're looking for like a medical facility for humans? Well, there's
I know
not
the factory's
really.
floor 3.
Well, the factory is a sprawling hellhole filled with goodies and death. So you might be able to find something within there. But if you're looking for a proper hospital of place where the fine doctor here can do his work, well, I'm afraid that you might be better off returning to the Bell for that.
Okay.
There have been particular places where you might be able to find medical equipment here and there, but this was a production factory back in the days of long ago, in the far, far time, and they did not quite have a robust medical facility, according to my understanding.
Okay.
I do have, well, for folks like yourself, I'll tell you what, if the surgery here goes well, I might be able to give you all a present as recompense for payment and such for the doctor's kind deeds.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Shall I attend?
Yes, please. I'm going to need some help so that he doesn't swing at me when the tooth comes out.
Go ahead and I mean roll surgery with
Oh God.
Yeah, go ahead. This is a little bit more like prepared. It's less things. So yeah, roll your surgery and take the advantage for Abby giving you a hand.
Some rusty pliers and some greasy rubbing alcohol.
Suction, doctor. Get you guys asked for like, is there a hospital? I'm like, I don't think there is. I don't remember something
no.
like that.
I was thinking more like nurse room.
It did not pass either way.
Yeah, this
no.
wasn't like a residential facility or
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Both
really just a work
both
facility.
failed.
So describe how this goes wrong. Go ahead, Jared.
Okay, so Dr. Mitten grabs like the nearest tool to try and get the tooth out. And as soon as he tries to like clamp down on the tooth and pull, it just falls apart, and the dude's like the it's just like the oldest pair of like calipers or like whatever. So it's just like holding like the two pieces of the pliers in each hand as it falls apart, and there's just like metal shavings and debris in the guy's
I thought
mouth.
like the tooth just
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
crumbled in his mouth,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Oh, that would actually probably make more sense. Yeah. He's just oh yeah.
Just
kinda-
So the top of the tooth, the top of the tooth just crumbles into the back of his throat, and the root is definitely still in there, festering.
Oh, and he's screaming in pain, actually, extraordinarily loud.
Oh no!
I have a stun baton if you need to use that.
Probably should have done that to begin with. Knock him out first.
Dr. Mitten, not really knowing what to do, is just say, "Don't swallow any of the tooth," and he's just gonna start like putting rubbing alcohol on the stump.
He's screaming.
Lico's gonna grab the stun baton,
Okay, you grab the stun baton. What do you do with it?
try to and tell Dr. Menton, hands off.
He's in enough pain. You're not gonna knock him out.
Kill me! Just kill me now! So you take the stun baton, you put it down, and you just kind of leave it on him for a little while. You see him shock, and I'll say, eventually he just passes out, either from the pain or from the stun baton. You're not sure which.
Oh
Meanwhile,
my God.
as
We
he's-
need to find some medicine for this guy because when he wakes up, he's not going to be happy.
Are you kidding me? They're those people that shot Reed and he just screamed.
Yeah,
the whole
what about me? I need some medicine.
We're trying. He said he had a present for us. Maybe it's a mobile
it's
hospital.
his gun. He's gonna kill us now.
And I would give everyone their weapons back now, too. Minton,
Okay.
you would get the EMP grenade back, too.
Okay.
So Abby, Reed, when as you're looking around, etc., like going through the guy's things, you do in fact actually find a med kit, which might or may not have been the present. You're not sure. Amongst some other items that he has collected, as my earbuds are threatening to go out. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Look, guys, I just want to reiterate, I'm a medical doctor. I'm not an orthodontist. I thought it just would come right out. I didn't think it would crumble like an old sand dollar that you find on the beach.
That thing looked rotted. I don't even know how you were going to get a grip on that thing.
I thought it could. How hard could it be? It's a bone, but no, it was just solidified dirt. Essentially, it was I've never seen a tooth that green.
I'm not a doctor, but I don't think teeth are bones.
I could have swore they were. I don't know. Like I said, this is not my area of expertise.
It's like I'm a cardiologist.
I'm a podiatrist. Okay, so in addition, as Helix, you've been scouring this whole place. So you've actually let me resolve it. So you go through the guy's things a little bit, and you do find the med kit, but you also find a couple plastic bags filled with tongues in his packs. But as you're kind of poking them, you notice that like they are.
Who said we were poking them?
I would poke them. Continue.
I know, Ashley. You notice that you could tell just by kind of looking at them, like they don't look. They look like pseudo flesh. They don't look like real tongues. They look like tongues they look actually similar to Helix's tongue.
Wow, this guy's collecting trophies off of his kills. It's messed up.
I mean, to each their own, I suppose. Do these sell? Oh my God! What if
That's a little bit of an insensitive question considering our present party.
What if he's been eating them?
Abby, what?
What is it? What has he been eating down here?
It's something that rots teeth. I don't know if pseudo flesh does that.
And Lico's just going to look over to Helix as if he should answer that question.
Well, Helix is busy because Helix just like dug out like underneath like what looked like this sort of series of ad hoc kind of fortress of a like someone's really tried to hide something. You dig out and you notice that there's this very very nice looking kind of foot locker, and you can tell that it's very sleek, kind of shiny. It's got this kind of this chrome that you can see for like the buckling that kind of opens it up. And when you undo like the latches on it and you kind of pull the lid up, you notice thank you, Chuck. You notice inside there is the most beguiling looking statue that you have ever seen, Helix. But as you're kind of staring at it, your like central processor is kind of going, your logic core is like on overboard. And you can see it just kind of churning and churning and churning. And you realize like there's something about this statue that looks geometric, surrealistic in some fashion. But there's this sort of sacred-like geometry that seems to have been compiled within it. And you realize that like there's something to this. Like there's like you feel like this egging in the back of your brain as your core's going through it, and you have found a second artifact.
Okay. I will collect that. Maybe it shows the others if they're interested.
Yeah, if the rest of you look at it, it looks very strange. Well made. It's some sort of advanced plastic, possibly. Or some composite. You can see like looking at it, it looks like there's an engineered quality to it. Like you're not even sure, like how would somebody carve that? Like, but it also doesn't look necessarily 3D printed. You don't really see the kind of the grains and stuff that sometimes call it. Like it's so perfect and smooth in places to the point where it almost feels like fiberglass, and it's got this shiny reflective quality to it. And just kind of staring at it, like your mind just sort of drifts, and you just kind of think back to like, voyages, in the Doppler effect, like from one job to the next, like just looking out into the void of space. And you're just kind of like your brain just sort of drifts back into this like sense of unease. Everyone go ahead and take a stress.
Jeff, haven't I been through enough?
No. And as you're kind of all staring down at it, as you're taking your breath, you hear the crackling of static kind of come on the intercom. And then immediately after, the sound of a chime goes off once more. And that is where we're going to end for tonight. All right?
Oh my goodness.
Great session.
Whew. All
Reed
right.
is still alive.
Crumbling
Barely.
teeth, collapsing throats. So many activities happening tonight.
And you guys are still only on floor 1. Look at that.
Yeah, Jesus.
We're in like the 4th room.
There's still a couple more rooms to find. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We do pick up the smart rifle, as chat pointed
You
out.
stole this guy's smart
We're
rifle?
stealing his smart rifle.
I didn't steal it. No, I was just trying to pull his tooth out.
No.
He's not dead. He's just knocked out. We'll pick up there, and you guys can decide what you want to
We'll
do with old
determine.
Nelly later on. Okay. Let's see. Let's get the hell out of here. So tomorrow you can catch Melissa and I tomorrow morning or early afternoon over on Defenders of Cobalt. We're playing some Fallout in the
Grim and Perilous Place.
Oh, Grim and Perilous Place. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that was on Defenders. Grim and Perilous Place. My bad. Then tomorrow afternoon you can catch myself, everyone here but Derek, basically playing One Ring back here on our channel. Because Derek hates us. And then on Monday, we should be back to playing some Deadlands, I think. And remember that the Mothership game is an every other Friday, as we're alternating between this game and Hunter, Hunter the Reckoning, new 5th edition that just came out, new Hunter 5. The first couple episodes of that are over on our YouTube page, if you want to take a look. And yeah, I think that's it. Unless anyone's got something else they want to throw out there. All right. Thank you for all the bits everyone threw out tonight. Farco, I used a couple. One of those was on the Marine Merc Squad that came in and shot Reed.
Oh, God.
So that was that was
thanks,
hilarious.
Farco.
So I threw that in there. So I still got. And there's one other in that. What was the other one I did it for? There was another one I used it for. I can't remember. Oh no, it was the initial security droid. There.
Yeah.
That was the other
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So I still got
Yeah,
two
the
more
one
in the
that-
bank.
The one that
And did
nearly
you see
one
the
shot me.
latest one from Chuck?
Chuck, how much? So Chuck gave me some. Oh man. So
I
I
gave you 5 bits.
give me 5 bits. 5 bits don't buy shit.
500.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's different. Oh, that's like a mega complication. So that's like a. What am I at? I'm
It
at
did specifically say to torture.
That's
Stephen
like
with.
cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
for
he
blood
did say
loss on
just
Reed.
me, so Lico should be safe.
okay.
That's what I mean. A major complication would be cardiac arrest for Reed because of blood loss.
Yeah.
Steven the
He dies.
person.
No, he
Music
can
to
survive
Jeff's
it,
ears.
but if he survives it, he's going to be severely limited because
Yeah.
of cardiac arrest.
All right.
Oh, goodness.
Brain
So
damage.
yeah. So anyway, go check out our stuff, YouTube, etc., etc. And we'll see you next Friday for Hunter, and the Friday after we'll be back playing more Mothership. So yeah, we're gonna raid somebody since that's fun to do. I don't know who's still up
Vorpal Tales.
Yep. do a
Vorpal
Traveler's
Tales
Session
will
Zero.
do. Traveler, we used to play that, remember? But then we're like, no. We got to get way more freaking hardcore. Let's do some
Yeah,
Mothership.
we're gonna be darker.
Thanks for everyone who hung out. It's good to see you again. We had a couple names pop up that we haven't seen in a while, so it's great to see. Follow the raid, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.